Welcome back, everyone, to a wonderful Monday evening where we intend to slay some dragons, play some dungeons, and do some fun stuff.
Are we?
Maybe, I don't know. Is it going? I don't know. It may be fun. I don't know.
This sounds like an 18 plus game now. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely going to be 18 plus. If you're like children, don't watch.
There's not going to be sex in this, is there? Because if there's going to be sex in this, I'm out.
This is actually the session.
Well, it
Why you think the
depends
owlbear's coming
on.
out?
Yeah. That's why the owlbear's here, man.
Yeah, I saw your notes.
Really?
Owlbear Dom's dwarf dilf.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there's a slight seam between the owlbear's body and his head. You know.
Oh, jeez.
Well, to give a little bit of a recap, after finally arriving, wow, words. After finally arriving in Phandelver, our party decided on doing the honorable thing of returning the lost goods of the Lion Shield Coster, and then dropped their load of mining equipment. That face, Eric. Of mining equipment off to Barthen's Provisions before finally getting a comfortable night's rest within the Stonehill Inn. Waking the next day, the party finalized some of the errands and sought out new information on this mysterious Cragmaw castle from some of the locals in Phandelver. But acquiring no leads, the party decided to leave town towards Conyberry, a small village that lies in ruin along the Tribord Trail, to locate a strange woman on the behalf of Sister Garel. God, they have such weird names. Still not worse than Toblin.
Oblera.
Or the sister is a member of the Harpers. The sister had requested the party to make their way up to just outside of Conyberry to a strange woman named Agatha, with hopes that she could answer some questions about a strange spell book in Garel's possession. Accepting the quest, our party left Phandelver and decided to make a pit stop back at the Cragmaw Cave to speak once again with the goblin spellweaver named Yemik. With nightfall approaching, our party decided to rest for the evening, and most of the watch went without incident. In the last watch of Berdane and Vladius noticed a large hulking quadrupedal figure lurking in the woods to the south of them. Massive and covered in feathers, with a large round face and two bright yellow eyes and a sharp beak, staring back at them. And this is where we return to the party, and Berdane, as you make eye contact with this large hulking creature, a strong cold wind or winter wind blows northward, and it begins to snow.
Oh.
That is where I'm going to call for initiative.
Oh.
From who?
Berdane and Vladius, the only two that are awake.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Mwah.
Nice.
Beautiful.
When you
Off to
really
a good
want the
start.
group to get nice.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And what is
That's
your dexterity, sir?
Mine is 2. Or, sorry, you want my actual number or my modifier?
Modifier is fine.
2.
Okay. So, we'll say that you're getting the first round of combat. What would you like to do?
See, from where I am right now,
Action in the Rage.
yes, I would like to shift classes into Barbarian.
That may take a little bit longer than 6 seconds, sir.
I'm gonna
Just
hold my
kidding,
ground
you know.
and yell out as loud as an old dwarf man can that everyone needs to get the fuck up.
Okay. So, all of you awaken to this chilled wind blowing across the small little meadow that you guys have situated as your campsite, and hearing the sound of what does your shout sound like, Burdane?
Oh, I can't shout. It's nighttime.
Oh, okay. Well, is what you hear.
For some reason, I'm picturing like from the Goonies. Hey, you guys!
Went down the wrong pipe.
not good.
Just
Someone better be dying for you to shout us like this at this hour.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like wake up, grab my weapon, and shield immediately. And would I be able to at least like step out of the tent and like see what's going on, or do
Well,
I need
as
to roll
you
initiative
are
or whatnot first?
as you guys are roused, roll me some initiative.
Awesome.
He had to wake me up. I was having such a nice dream.
Storm was out, dude.
Out cold.
I don't know why mine didn't go through on the Beyond 20. Do you want me to redo it?
Nope, it is fine.
Okay, cool.
Let me-
Just so I can test it. Well, if I do it again, will it overrule it if I like try to test it right now?
Yes.
Okay, never mind then. I
So,
don't know why it does that every now and then.
Burdane, shouting and arousing everyone. What's the rest of your turn? Seeing this large lurking creature just standing about 60, or this would be probably about 45 feet out into the brush, and with your dark vision, you
This
can kind
one.
of get a little bit of the idea of your of its face, but the biggest thing you see is the gleam and reflection of the firelight off of its big yellow eyes.
Ooh, don't like that.
And notice you said this one. Can I just like leave?
I'm gonna move around the fire to kind of get in front of it.
Shit, I wanted to do campfire damage.
Aw, he's not a wizard this time. It's okay. He could take it.
Yo, is my brain stunned? There's no token for the owl beast on here.
Not that you can see.
1d4 sunburn damage from the fire. Folded.
I see the eyes, and that'll be it for me.
Okay.
Weapon at the ready.
Well, all right. Let me.
There be beasties about. You guys like how I'm changing up Bridane's voice?
Is this your late night
Seamless.
Burdane voice?
Seamless.
This half asleep Burdane?
Well,
Burdane without his morning Joe?
seeing only two in the camp, this large feathery beast is going to. You see it, or Burdane, you see it kind of hunch its shoulders and dig its front paws in and begin to charge.
Oh,
And it makes it to there, but unfortunately,
Jeez.
big.
for it does not have the, or it had to use dash in order to get the rest of the way there.
Oh,
That's what you woke us up for.
have mercy, please.
Bladius.
This looks damn. This looks bad. Vladius is going to step here into the entryway of the tent, having a clear line of sight. It looks like to going to ready up my crossbow and fire off some shots with the light crossbow.
Okay.
Oof.
A 7 is not going to hit. So, as you as you back up into the tent, you're feeling the cold air blow against your face, and you are kind of caught off guard by these small little white specks that are just slowly trickling down from the top or from the sky and kind of coating the floor, or the forest floor. And you're beginning to see yours, Burdane's, and this large creature's breath just plume out in clouds of smoke around your mouth. So, kind of threw you off a little bit.
I'm gonna use my cunning action, my bonus action, to hide.
Okay, so roll me a stealth check. Okay. And let's see. Just to beat its passive. Or its. Okay. So as far as you know, you are pretty well hidden in the folds of the tent that you have set up for you and
Folds in the
Belir.
darkness of the tent.
Yes, the dark folds of the tent, the meaty folds.
Yeah.
That brings us to Lunky Lunk. Just being aroused.
All right.
Still on your back.
Hold on, how was Lunk going before me? I doubt his dex is higher. I'm gonna argue that one.
What is
I'm worried that he wakes up
Lunk's deck?
aroused.
+2.
My dex is +4. No
Okay.
way his is higher.
So technically it would be Nidus. Yeah, my mistake.
Yeah, get fucked, Lunk. I go first.
I love camaraderie.
Gotta love it.
Well, seeing this thing walking on our
Teamwork makes the
campground,
dream work.
I'm gonna cast Loud Boomstick at Owlbear.
Loud boomstick, okay.
Loud boomstick. Storm, who's just waking up, goes, "Oh fuck!
Shit!
What the fuck was that?
Sorry, Owlbear, you woke the wrong dog.
What the shit?"
I forgot you guys were in the same tent.
A 22 definitely hits.
What the fuck, Nidus?
Come look outside, you'll see.
10 damage. Okay.
We're under attack by Owlbears, it seems.
What the fuck is an owl bear?
Yeah, so if you have not been awoken by Burdane shouting, all of you are definitely awoken by the loud casting of Boom.
Based on Storm's initiative, I'm gonna say she was barely awoken, just kind of like that really groggy sleep, and then she heard a gunshot and she went, "Oh fuck!"
But next is Lunk, appropriately.
All right. I assume I'm still laying down. What is it in 5e to like stand up?
Half your
Like, rouse
movement.
from slumber. I'm assuming half of my movement. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So then, cool. I'm gonna move. Boop. Then I'm going to throw the javelin that I have in hand at it because that's what I left out after my watch earlier this night.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit?
It does.
Nice.
Not raging. Nah. Okay.
I forgot to rage first. So
Okay.
Sounds like no rage to me.
4 damage.
but then I was going to I was hoping that I could use oh no, I have to use my bonus action to rage. So what would it be to like pull out my weapon that I have, like, you know, well, not on my hip because it's a big ass weapon.
It's
But
normally movement, isn't it?
It's considered part of your movement. Yeah. So
but my movement
You
was
can-
already halved, and I moved that speed. So
you can still do it. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I just want to ready my weapon. I obviously already have my shield on, and then I will rage for the next turn.
Okay.
still not exactly used to Barbarian yet, so I
Lunk
figured to rage
Angie.
first, and then...
Lunk woken up after barely sleeping. Lunk Angie.
Yes.
And that brings us to...
Oh yeah, because I had second watch, so I like just got to sleep. God damn it!
Yep.
Mhm.
Valera.
Hello. She gets up, walking to like the entrance of the tent, and then she casts, what is it? Vicious Mockery.
Nice.
And she's gonna call out. She's like, "You're nothing but a fluff ball, you know." And then,
That's a wisdom save.
and then, yeah.
Okay. That's a 3 plus 1, so 4. He saves, right?
Sweet. Take 4 damage.
Okay. 4 blamage. Yeah, Storm is definitely not used to the snow and cold and, you know, making her throat very dry and hoarse.
Val.
Yes.
Yes, the other storm.
Both of you. Anyway. I got it wrong. Sue me. No, don't do that. Is that your turn, Val?
Yeah, that's all.
How much damage did you do? I forgot.
4 damage. I said take 4.
Okay, well, Storm is gonna use half a movement to get up, kind of holding her ears a little like, oh, what the fuck, Nidus? And then she's gonna kind of, poke her head out of the tent, kind of bleary-eyed, and she's gonna kind of squint because it's dark and the embers on the fire are low. And I guess she just sees a big hulking figure, doesn't she?
Well, from your... You have, you don't have any kind of vision sense, right?
Mm-mm.
So, from the radius of the campfire, you are able to make out its features. You are able to see the feathers on its body, its large, massive muscles.
An owlbear, you said? What the fuck is an owlbear? And she's gonna sacred flame its ass.
Okay, that's a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, DC 14.
Wow,
I point my gun to it.
Getting rid of that dice. That was a 6. That saves, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no.
Okay.
3 radiant damage.
All right. Turns us around to, once again, Berdain. You have this big figure standing in front of you that just got pelted with a bullet, sacred fire, mean words.
I'll make a mental note to stand behind the party next time. All this shit thrown at me.
Perspiration on your face is kind of freezing a little bit to your beard.
And I am going to swing out with my maul
Okay.
in an attempt to get this thing to... It may be back off.
Get it. Beat it.
Let's hope so. It's a 15.
A 15 hits.
Oh, okay. All right, let's roll that damage. And we're looking at 14 damage.
Jesus.
I'm a big boy.
We're still competing for highest damage, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't even Hachubi.
No Hachubi required.
is that the end of your,
Yes, I am not going to move away from this thing.
Okay. So, as you bring your maul across and smack the side of the face of this owlbear, you see that it did pretty hefty damage. Its feathers are now starting to mat with blood, and it looks back at you almost directly in the eyes, and then stands up on its hind legs, almost doubling your height. And it is going to reach down with one large claw, and then using that momentum to come down on you with his beak and attempt to bite you. So the first claw is a natural fucking 1. God damn. I'm not rolling good tonight. Okay.
Well, you were rolling really good the other night. You were fucking us up real bad.
So
That's
that's a miss, and then the beak, an 8
Okay.
plus 7, so 15.
my AC is 16.
2 misses on you. Nice. So the you are able to kind of step out of the way of the claw attack, and that causes it to lose its balance and just fall forward, and you're able to continue that motion and get out of the way of its beak as well. Damn it. Vladius?
Oh boy, we're back at it. Gladius is gonna break out of the stealth or not break out of the stealth, but rather fire from stealth.
Okay.
Using a sneak attack, of course, to hit with that light crossbow again. Hopefully, 18 hits.
18
I
hits.
believe. So
That's
piercing, 5 sneak,
Yeah,
11
11 damage. Nice.
and I suppose I'm going to use my bonus action again to try to hide again.
So, with 5th edition, if there is a party member engaged in combat, then
yeah.
you don't have to worry about trying to sneak attack or
right.
sneak or anything or get advantage. Basically, you automatically get your first sneak or your sneak attack.
Okay, over left.
That was
Grave just struck.
brave.
There she is.
Oh,
Grave is back.
You're,
Yeah.
Burdain, as like you're standing there, and there's a crossbow bolt that sinks into the shoulder blade, and the snow beneath you is starting to turn, or it's starting to pile up and turn red.
Oh.
Bringing us again to Nidus.
So anyway, I started blasting.
The do I want to blast again? That is my big damage. What the heck? Blasting works for me. I'll take a step outside the tent and blast another shot at the owlbear.
Almost point blank. 19 is gonna hit.
Ooh, low damage.
Have fun catching up.
Okay. You want to finish your movement or anything for a bonus action?
Nope, I'm done moving.
Okay,
Done with my turn.
Mr. Angry Lunk. And what weapon are you using?
I'm using my lance.
Okay. All right. Lance
I'm
and
going
shield
to
it
move.
is.
I believe that is. Yeah. Gonna move there. From where I'm at, as a bonus action, would I be able to try to hit the javelin that's already in the creature with my shield?
Brilliant.
Do you
There's
have...
like no real rules on a shield bashing or anything, so I'm not sure how that works in 5e. I don't know if it's like required to have a light attributed shield. I don't know, to be honest.
What, for shield bash?
Yeah.
I believe
I'm
that's...
not sure if that's like a specific type of action, if that requires a feat. I'm not sure.
Pretty sure... Creatures that are proficient with shields. That's a variant rule, not D&D Beyond.
If it's too much for now, I can just attack regularly and we can look it up for like later usage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know it's a feat that you have to take in order to be able to use Shield Bash in 5th edition.
Okay then.
So...
Then, yeah, I'll just, try to swipe at him.
Are you going Reckless?
I was thinking about it, and because I'm gonna err on the benefit of the doubt and hope that they don't have reach, because fuck them, I will.
Okay.
How does that work? Do I have like uses of that, or is that
No,
just
reckless just
thing?
is something you can
Yeah,
take.
when you make your first attack? Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, determine whether or not it's reckless. It lasts for your entire turn. So if you have
Oh,
2 strikes,
shit.
it's both strikes are reckless, but in return, you have advantage
Yeah,
against
they
you.
have advantage against me. Yeah, so because I'm gonna assume that he doesn't have, or hope that he doesn't have reach, I will.
Okay.
Oh, not the javelin. Lance. It's the same modifier, but 22.
All right. Want to roll again to see if you get that nat 20? Because you hit. Because
I don't
remember,
think I
reckless.
get advantage on actual. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, duh,
that's
duh,
what
sorry.
reckless.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot.
Okay, so 22 definitely hits. Roll some damage. 11 damage. Is that including your strength or no? Or your bonus rage damage? I think it's plus 2 for you.
Let's see.
don't
I don't
think
think
it
it does
is.
include my rage thing. I thought it would, but plus 2.
Okay, so 13 damage. Well, damn it. How do you want to do this?
Oh shit. I'm going to stab it where a bear's heart would be, Wonk having a lot of experience fighting just normal bears. Knowing
Okay.
that they're big and hefty, I'm just going to give it a nice hefty fucking, an angry thrust for taking my sleep right in through, like, right between the ribs at its heart. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so as it kind of reels back from being shot by Nidus a second time, it starts to stand up again on its hind legs to reach out at Burdane again, and you just take the opportune moment and slide that lance in right in between its rib cage, and it dies slowly. Has some death throwls.
I know it's technically the end of my turn, but because it's on the ground and, like, fucked up, could I just, like, coup de grace at that point? Lunk doesn't want to just watch the thing suffer, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah. Realizing it's not dying immediately, so you pull the lance back out and you just drive it down into its neck, and it quickly snuffs its life,
Yeah.
leaving a dead owl bear in front of you. And for just so you know, Grave, the save the turkey is for fucking New World, because there's a bunch of quests where you have to like gather turkey feathers, and Kristen is absolutely obsessed with killing turkeys. She will run around and just shoot them for no reason, even if she doesn't have the quest. So I put that on my streams to
Oh god.
yeah.
Save the turkeys.
I love it.
Well,
Birds are friends, not food.
I used to blast those things anytime I saw them too.
yep. I do
I
as
mean,
well.
what did you do in Fallout 4 whenever you find the cat room?
Sit down
There's
and
a
pet
room in,
them?
I can't remember which town, but it's literally full of, like, 30 cats.
Are you saying you killed cats in Fallout?
I'm not going to confirm or deny this.
That entire combat
believe
took
it.
like less than 12 seconds.
One round is
Seconds around.
6 seconds.
6 seconds around. Yeah, I thought it was
So-
6 seconds a turn.
So we literally just like woke up, this thing got blasted, and now we're done. In 10 seconds.
Good night, friends.
Until
Well-
Owl Bear B comes up.
What the fuck just happened?
That little cutie just showed up and died.
I'm going back to sleep.
Pleasant
Well,
dreams.
at this point of the night, it's getting close to sunrise. So you gather from the little bit of view that you guys have of the sky, with the whipping wind and the snow that's beginning to fall, you'd only have about another hour, maybe an hour and a half, before the sun begins to or is actually starting the new day.
Wonderful.
With being awoken in the middle of the night, unless you guys choose to stay the extra hour just kind of sitting and and resting, you won't be able to take a long rest.
Well,
Oh,
how about Storm? Because
definitely-
I didn't take either of the first watches.
You still need a full 8 hours of rest in order to get a long rest, and you got cut off at the 7th hour mark.
I'm going back to sleep.
Call me again if you need me. I'll take a coin, set it for an hour and a half as an alarm clock, and go back to sleep.
Could I kind of drag the owlbear, like, I guess over by my tent, and I guess we'll have breakfast in the morning.
Okay, so go ahead and make me a survival check to start skinning it and chopping it up.
Actually, before I cut it up, would this count as like non-strenuous stuff for like I could still do this and finish my long rest, or will I need to sleep and then cut this up?
So this would be considered strenuous. Yes.
Okay, then I'll just drag it over here for now, and then I'll cut it up in an hour when we wake up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If that, yeah.
All right. Leaving Verdane and Vladius, and I think Valyria.
As Storm goes back to sleep, she gives finger guns at Vladius and Berdane and goes, "Well done, boys."
Well done. That's pretty.
Say what, Vladius? God couldn't hear you.
I was gonna say, well done for you as well. Waking up, killing a thing, going back to sleep. What a nice dream you had.
Back and take my old seat. Just plop down in front of the fire again. Try to warm up.
Sit
Lunk
back
just
down
kind of
next-
grumbles about getting woken up by some stupid bear thing and walking back to his bedroll.
Vladius is gonna very calmly look over at Berdane, big hands, and compliment him on his maul swinging. Was it a maul that you used?
Yes, them all.
Yeah, on your maul swinging and the damage you put in on the all there. Good fighting, my friend.
I appreciate it. It's a skill I've cultivated over many years.
My skills have been trained. I understand.
And so, Gladius, as you kind of sit down and look around, you do notice that you and Valera are a little bit out of your element, and it's, although you can tell that there's
I would say
a chill in the air, even for Berdane, he's kind of handling it just a little bit better than you guys are, being used to more hotter climates.
warmer climates, yeah.
Um,
We would be probably wearing a blanket wrapped around me sitting at the fire. And as I emoted, I tucked her back into bed, probably throwing extra blankets on top of her. It is quite cold. This snow, as it's called, is unusual. We don't get it so much back home. Many new things to be seen in this world.
Well, absolutely. I was afraid you might consider this to be some sort of ash.
It does remind me of the ash.
But no, not quite. Just water.
Different sensation hitting the skin. Doesn't mess my hair up as much.
Doesn't taste too bad either.
Yeah.
If you ever get thirsty, just open your mouth, turn your face towards the sky. Maybe close your eyes.
I don't like to close my eyes.
I find it's more refreshing that way.
I like how I walk back into Berdane telling him to close his eyes and open his mouth.
Ooh.
And that's how
Too bad I'm
Lunk
asleep.
awakens. But your final hour passes, allowing you guys to mark off a long rest.
Nice.
And you begin, or Lunk, if you want to make me that survival check.
All right. Come out here. I guess I would have drugged the owlbear somewhere here near the fire or something, or by my tent, wherever. But survival. Not great.
So you've skinned and chopped up bear meat before. This, although very similar in size and like figure, the weight of the meat is different. This is it's a little bit lighter. So as you're kind of tugging on it to get into the right position to carve chunks off, you're accidentally ripping and tearing at some bits of the meat. You do end up tearing the pelt in a few parts, but you are able to get what I would equate to about 10 rations worth of meat from this owlbear, as well as a ruined owlbear pelt.
Lunk, didn't we already butcher that poor thing enough?
Now we have food.
Alright.
So,
Good thinking, Lunk.
Start like roasting it on the fire.
As a Storm is waiting for breakfast, she's gonna take her out a canteen of water and use shape water and just start playing around, making shapes in the air with the water.
okay.
Could we like kind of set? Could we use like one of my javelins and I guess some of the sticks from the area to like set up like a sort of rotisserie style thing?
Yeah,
and, like,
definitely.
Cook all of these pieces of meat. Dope.
Definitely. Storm, you notice as you're weaving the water between your fingers, there are bits and pieces around the edges that begin to freeze in this cold air. And after a while of doing this, you are no longer controlling like a steady stream of water. You just have a small ball of ice.
She's gonna throw it at Vlad.
Okay. Roll a d20 and add your add your dexterity modifier.
17?
Does 17 hit your armor class?
Yeah, that's my armor class.
Okay, roll a d8. This
Damn,
is a
son.
solid block or solid ball of
Oh
ice.
shit! It's like that kid who puts a rock in the snowball.
So yeah, not realizing it that this is a solid ball of ice, Storm hurls it at Vlad, and it clocks you in the center of your chest, dealing 6 points of damage.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Storm starts laughing really hard.
And then
And
natural.
as she's laughing, she'll cast Healing Word at him.
Luckily, the natural one means I misfired at you.
It
was just
You
a
were-
joke, Vladdy.
you were aiming at Storm, however, the bolt landed
What a great-
like Nidus. How are you sitting at this point? Are you sitting cross-legged or like sprawled out?
Yeah, cross-legged, sure.
It lands right in front of your left knee.
Storm starts laughing even harder. You get 6 points back exactly for Vlad.
What a great time for a nat 1 to happen, by the way, though.
Yeah, that was the perfect time for a nat one.
What a great time, D&D.
What a reaction, damn.
Honestly, like,
Oh,
Lump,
shit.
maybe. Vladdy is just, oh, shit, okay, damn. Vladdy's
Someone
just
not
not like
know how to-
jokes.
Someone not know how to work their crossbow or something? I'm gonna look over at Vlad.
That was a bit of an extreme reaction, don't you think?
Oh, and, I just realized, I figured it was assumed,
It was
but I
all
would have picked up my, my javelin that I threw at the owlbear. after the
Yeah,
fight.
you got that back in the process of skinning.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
I figured your humor and my humor were quite the same.
Val, tell your dog to heel.
Dog. Haha.
Oof.
Oh.
So,
So how's that cooking going?
by the time that all of this kind of transpires, you are able to get a large haunch of this owlbear cooked off. It's more of bird anatomy rather than red meat, so it cooks a little
Yeah.
bit faster. You were taken a little bit aback how instead of this reddish meat turning brown, it turned white, kind of like chicken.
Yeah, like wait, bear don't turn white.
Gladius is still looking
But,
around looking for the dogs. And he's gonna say, Storm, I don't see any canines around, other than the ones I saw you eating from your rations yesterday.
What? Storm just
That-
looks confused.
That jerky you were eating, I thought it was.
Hey, I'm glad you can join us.
Dog meat. That's what
How's it
you
going over
people like
there?
to eat, right?
Is that what you lot eat from where you're from?
No, we don't eat dog meat.
I don't think they have dogs
Oh
in
right,
the Eight Rings of Hell.
just human children then.
Lung kind of leans in. Dog meat tastes pretty good. Obviously, he's talking about like wolf and coyote, but he
What?
doesn't understand the big dogs in the woods attack me all time.
I haven't seen any in these woods yet. Let's look out for those, Lunk.
Well,
Always.
getting
so
your
Vlad,
Um,
how come Val has an accent but you don't?
Well, you see, she was
Oh, yeah, I
raised
bet.
there all life. And I
working
was
your butt off.
dumped into a gutter.
We've all
And,
been dumped before. Sorry.
Into a gutter though. Lunk,
I
are you having?
we,
Did you have a
we had
similar
di-
experience?
we had different childhoods. Let's just put it at that. She grew up in royalty. I did not.
So how did you come to be her knight?
Well, she was out when she wasn't supposed to be. Got in some trouble. I stepped in and stopped the trouble from happening. And then
And
her dad decided that I would be trained to be her bodyguard.
trained like a dog.
I mean,
And
dogs
that day we've
dogs
been
can
best friends.
dogs can cut your throat in your sleep, I guess. So, yeah.
And I miss you too,
I
hon.
don't think dogs can wield knives. Can they
Oh.
in hell?
I mean, you said I was trained like a dog. I just told you what I was trained to do.
I feel like there's a miscommunication here.
You think?
There's gonna be ever so slight of a smile on Vladius's face.
Storm looks perplexed.
Valera's just like in the corner, kind of like giggling to herself, like.
All right, breakfast took a strange turn.
Is the hunch like pretty much done cooking at this point, though?
Oh yeah, I assume that you guys are currently eating and all
Yeah,
that kind of
and
good
then I
stuff.
would have split up even portions to everybody and whatnot. You know.
Don't
Look, if you
worry,
could
BB.
retrieve
Next
the
time
map.
I'll throw my ice block at you.
What'd you say, Eric? I didn't hear you.
If you could get the map out, we can
Ah, yes.
plan our next
Pull out
move.
the new map I've been given from its protective case.
Okay. Can you guys see the map?
Yes.
Okay.
Again.
Well,
So-
y'all are about, I'd say, in that hex right there, just south of the crag, what you remember to be the Cragmaw hideout.
Okay. So I say we continue to Yimik to see if we can figure out exactly where Cragmore Castle is while we're heading to Conyberry.
That was
That
already
was-
all wrong, right?
Aye.
Yeah. That's our entire purpose here, isn't it?
Never tell with you lot. You seem quite forgetful sometimes. Maybe a bit selective, if anything.
You
So
think
just so
I'd
that we're all on
return
the
to a
same
goblin
page,
hideout just on a whim?
I'm not quite sure what you would do, Storm.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So we continue this way. Hopefully find, the location of Cragmaw Castle. And leave. Oh, Lunk, maybe if we can give Ymix some of this owlbear, he might be a bit more willing to assist.
We can give him the frog. Oh, we sold that, didn't we?
We did.
Oh yeah,
Aye.
damn, we did. I forgot. But yeah.
I think meat might go a long way.
Small
Solid,
things do like
rationing.
eating meat. Not
Say
knowing what a
again,
kobold
Midas.
is.
So that's a rational way to look at it. Those goblins will like something simple like this.
Try not to do irrational.
That will definitely tip the scale for us. Maybe he's more willing to help us if we're giving him something.
Let's see if we can find our way back through the woods. Watch out for holes, by the way.
For holes.
Well, that's fine. You could lead. You should remember where the holes are at.
And as you guys are beginning to pack up and get everything situated to restart your journey, the clouds overhead kind of start to darken, and a storm begins to kind of lull into the area, continuing to or starting to have this light mix of chilling rain as well as the snow. So at this point, everything's travel is starting the travel is pretty effortless, but as the miles kind of tick on heading towards the hideout, the ground gets a little slick and smushy, causing it to kind of force you to slow up your pace just a little bit. And Verdane, you do adequately remember where the traps were already located, and some of them had already been sprung and untrapped. So making your way back through, you notice where they were, and they seem to be no threat to you guys. So continuing on through the kind of chilling storm, towards the towards the middle of the day, you reached the open cave of the Cragmaw hideout.
Should we knock?
Won't exactly have a door. I think a yell would suffice.
Can Lunk like slam his shield on the side of the entrance of the cave?
Sure. So, Storm mentioning you have a knock, and Verdane attempting to bring some humor with it. Lunk not getting it, just slams his shield into the wall, and there's a
Shit.
loud resonating tang that goes throughout the entire a bit of the cave. And actually, all of you can make me a perception check.
I did it.
Nice. Nice.
Then, just waiting on the perception from Miss Valera.
Dope.
Yo, see shit.
She saw a dope looking bug on the ground.
What was that roll? I didn't see it.
She got a 3.
Hell yeah!
A what?
Awesome!
What did
She
she
rolled
say?
a 2, luckily, but it was a 3.
Okay. So, Lunk and Storm, You're the only two that are not necessarily caught off guard from Lunk's massive slam. And the two
Storm
of you,
expected something like this from him.
the most you hear, Lunk, is the dripping of water down into other pools of water. So you hear that, kind of droplet sound hitting the cave walls, and you also hear a faint echo of the storm resonating throughout the rest of the cave. Each thunder strike or lightning strike that you hear off in the distance kind of echoes throughout the cave. Storm, with your roll, you hear a slight chittering.
What kind of chittering?
Just like small, tiny legs just scrambling across some of the larger portions of the walls, like maybe, or what you could assume. The best way to say it is like a cricket. You hear crickets inside the cave. What you don't hear is the growling and snarling of the wolves that were there.
Interesting. That's why I was kind of surprised. It's like the first thing I expected.
Interesting. I don't hear anything really other than some bugs.
Lunk kind of looks at Storm. Green things not home?
I don't know. Or they're really, really good at hiding. But they may have moved camp. I'm not sure. I could use thaumaturgy to make myself
Rouse
louder
them?
and announce our presence. Well, announce our presence in words. Let them know if they are there, that we're not here to hurt them.
Yes, call Green Friend's name. He'll know us.
Please call
Sure.
him by his actual name,
Yeehaw, yeah?
Mick. Maybe add
Mickey.
boss in front of it.
Boss.
Boss, you
Ooh,
Mick.
Chieftain Mickey. Storm is gonna, give one last burn, and then she's gonna cast thaumaturgy on herself, and she's gonna yell and make herself as loud as she can. Chieftain Yeemick, it's your friends who killed Clark for you the other day. We come in peace. We have a couple of follow-up questions. We're not here to, for any harm. Just, quick in and out.
Your voice echoes throughout the cavern. And
Green one. Oh, great green chieftain.
and you just hear the roaring of thunder in the background.
I don't think they're home. Can we see any tracks or anything? Like any evidence of them having, moved out of there?
As you kind of enter in and you make your way towards the cavern where the wolves were, you do start seeing a small trail, and you also see the chains that had been there to bind the wolves into this chamber have been broken, and they are no longer there. Continuing forward a little bit more, you make your way to the small passageway that you used into, or to get to Yimik's chamber. And at this point, the storm is still kind of echoing through the chamber, making it a little difficult to hear, but you do hear what sounds like, or from the distance of the front of the cave, you heard it as chittering like a bug. Now, as you're getting closer, it sounds like the snapping of teeth and like something rabid or rabidly chewing on something.
Oh, well, that can't be good. Would we
Well.
like to go further?
Yeah, but we should do this a different way than we did last time. And I'll start digging through my bag, pulling out those pipes, and start putting them in the wall in front of us, so I can try to scale that little cliff,
Okay.
get on top of the ledge.
All right. making it easier, so all of you can just disregard a athletics check in order to climb.
Be
And
accurate. I'm trying to climb directly up here, ignoring this part.
yep, perfect. Yeah, so that would be because you would have had to make an athletics check. Now with that, you don't have to make one. Makes it easy enough. Or moving into further into Yimik's chamber. You see the familiar kind of bedrolls or rough bedrolls strewn about all over the floor. The haphazard small campfire that's now just a tiny ember. And you see two goblinoid figures. One is hunched over back to you, over another figure, and from your perspective, it seems like he's either pilfering through the corpse or, judging by the sounds that you're hearing, he's ripping and tearing and chewing. And as you guys approach, you see the figure kind of stop and go rigid, and slowly, without turning its shoulders, its head just kind of swivels and begins to pop and snap until it's looking directly at Storm. And you see the face of Yimik, the big toothy grin, face completely
This is literally
smattered
Storm's face right now.
with his face is completely smattered with blood, and there's still like bits of what looks like goblin meat just hanging out from his jaws. And before, whenever you first saw him, he had large yellow eyes. Now, in his eye sockets are completely sunken, and there's this greenish hue emanating from them. And taking a look at the lot of you as you kind of stand or approach and begin to gather around.
Guys, I don't think that our friend Yimik is well.
Soon, like, kind of cutting you off mid-sentence, you hear almost like an echo in the back of your mind. You don't see Yimik's mouth move at all, but you do hear in a voice that's different from what you've heard him use before. And you hear, interesting. And as he stands to face you, you watch his face begin to just completely slaw and the rest of his body slaw as his eyes fade from green, and it's just a black hole now, and the body just slumps and falls to the ground.
What the fuck just happened? Did you all see that?
Wish I didn't.
Everybody saw that, right?
Can all of us see that from
Yes.
where we are right now?
All of you saw
okay.
That is,
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Perhaps we take that as our time to leave, yes?
Please! Storm starts booking it out of there.
This just got interesting. There's no way I could just leave now.
Yeah, what are you doing?
And what are you gonna do? Go run after him? Do you even know where he's gone?
Yeah, right there on the ground in a pile.
Storm makes it out of the cave, and she just kind of like hands on her knees outside, just like.
I want to investigate, but I'm gonna assume that that's gonna be some kind of check that Lung is not gonna be able to make.
You can. So you can always make if you don't think you can make the check yourself, you can always, offer your idea to the party and see what they come up with.
I want to start by reloading my gun before I do anything else.
Yeah, I'm also.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely. Lance at the ready. This ain't happening.
Okay. So yeah, it'd be an investigation check.
Give it a go. See if I can figure it out.
Ooh, hey,
Nice. So
Detective Light Sky on the case.
well, Seeing as both of you rolled really well, you approach the now like almost mush remains of Yimik, and Vladius, you kind of take one of the sticks from the fire and kind of move it around a little bit, and you do see a little bit of a glint in the mush. Nidus, you're the one that kind of trains in on it, and picking it up, there's a leather cord or amulet on a leather cord with this blue or greenish stone on it. It looks to from your experience, it kind of looks like it would be jade, and it has a slight glow to it as you're looking at it.
Oh, this thing's magic.
And
I think the dead goblin told us it was magic by dying.
And as you hold it in your hands, Nidus, and you're kind of thinking about it and just kind of pondering what this could be, Lunk, Verdane, and Vladius, who are the ones that are closest to you, all of you hear a faint whisper of Nidus's voice in your head. Almost as if like what he is thinking is being projected outward.
Interesting.
What is he thinking?
This thing is magical. Or it might be magical.
Gladius voices agreement. I'm pretty sure it is magical.
Huh? What?
We can hear you.
Right, you were saying something. Yeah?
Without
Not out
saying,
loud.
Everything is magical?
your lips weren't moving, but your words were coming to us. We can hear you.
I'm gonna think to
Gladius is gonna have,
myself,
like, a
if
slight
they
whisper
can,
of us.
if they can hear this, say orange.
Orange.
Orange?
Orange.
What the hell? Wow, this thing
Oh.
projects my thoughts. Whoa.
Storm's gonna kind of move up to the mouth of the cave and go, "You guys haven't died, have you?"
No? Why would we?
No, Nidus, use your project thoughts thing. Does it reach that far?
It's a 10-foot radius.
Shit!
Nope, still kicking.
They're all fine, but they're playing with some new jewelry they found.
This is cool. I like this.
Don't we want to get out of here? Whatever that was, it knows we're here.
Well, if it already knows we're here, might as well keep going. No point in running away at this point.
If you run away, you only
This
just
is-
die tired.
I disagree.
No, besides that stuff, is everything else in this area like pretty much the same it was last time we were here? Not worth searching or anything?
The biggest difference is that there are now, like where there were 4 other goblins that survived that encounter, there are 5 or 6 bodies just absolutely destroyed, chewed, bitten, completely ravaged. Their weapons all lay off to the side, but they're all rusted and, goblin-ish weapons.
Sto-
And
I was gonna say, Storm kind of makes her way carefully back in the cavern and kind of peeks around. Is there any... if we're gonna keep poking about, is there any way, can she, like, discern the nature of what the fuck happened to Yimik? Like, if he was reanimated by a spell, or what kind of magical shenanigans?
do you have detect magic, identify?
I do have detect magic, actually.
Okay. So, detect magic I believe you can cast as a ritual, or seeing as I think that's a wizard thing.
I have it concentration up to 10 minutes. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see if any aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. And if you learn its school of magic, if any.
Okay. Now let me just make sure. Ritual. Yes, you can cast or detect magic as a ritual. So that would be you just sitting down in the area and just kind of detecting it into 30 feet. area for 10 minutes.
It doesn't say it's a ritual.
So if you go to your spell list and then go all the way over to the where it has your all 0 first concentration and then the book with the R, that's
Oh
ritual.
yeah, it has, okay, yeah, okay.
So that means you can use it without expending a spell slot. You
Yeah.
just have
Okay.
to use it. You have to be there for 10 minutes in order to cast
It's
it.
basically like taking 10 for a skill. Essentially, you got to take
Okay.
10 minutes to do it.
'Cause-
Okay, she's gonna go find a spot in the center of the cavern, a little ways away from the corpses if she can. Not too close to any of them,
Well-
and she's gonna.
As you guys are kind of continuing to look around and stand in this chamber, that the smell that start beginning to permeate from the slaughtered flesh of this goblin is beginning to stink up this entire room, and it's becoming, for some, slightly unbearable.
Can you do anything about this, Nidus? The smell?
I can grab a
With
couple.
your fancy magic tricks.
Could do a couple pebbles in the room and have them give off a strong like lavender smell to try to counteract it.
Well, in the meantime, Storm
Can you-
sits down and she
Can-
grabs her amulet and just starts concentrating.
Okay.
Big
So-
thinking, Nidus. Now it smells like lavender and rot.
You know a better smell to fight rot?
I think I smelled a flower like this once. It smelled like a grave.
Shh.
No, you don't have to, or they can talk and do whatever you want. You just have to. You don't like. 'Cause-
I know Storm's just being an asshole.
Okay. Cool.
Usual.
Making sure this is in character. But yeah. So Storm sits down and starts concentrating for 10 minutes. Nidus, are you
Buddy.
continuing to hold the object, or are you setting it down so she can focus on it? Because as long as it remains in 30 feet, she can kind of pick it up.
She would have conveyed that too before she sat down.
I'll pull the magical amulet out and set it on one of the chairs or something near her.
Okay.
Those bedroll looking things.
All right. And what are you guys doing for the 10 minutes that she's focusing on this?
You guys want to
Well-
pile these bodies up and burn them to get rid of the smell?
Yes.
I swear to God, if anything attacks us, I'm going to haunt you. All of you.
Well,
Don't
knowing
they
how
all pretty much
caves
already
work,
piled up?
it's a bad idea for us to burn them inside the cave.
Yeah, that's
We're gonna
pretty
smoke ourselves out.
Yeah, the worst kind of smoke to have.
Don't touch anything yet.
So with
Because we're not touching anything.
We could drag Mother Ropes, though.
to answer your question, Lunk, no. The bodies are kind of. It looks like some of them were still sleeping when they were ripped into. The other ones looked like they got up and tried to fight. So there's kind of bodies all over this chamber, and all in the similar state, like abdomen completely ripped open, almost arms kind of pulled away from the body. There's a couple with their throat pulled, just a mess.
The ones that look like they were mainly just eviscerated, not the one who like just rotted into a fucking pile. I'm gonna like poke one of them real quick. You know what I mean? Like a little poke, see what happens with my bare finger.
Okay. Poking it.
Hoping that the ones that were eviscerated won't like rot me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So poking one of the ones that one of the ones that are still in the bedroll. This one has its kind of throat pulled out, and you touch it. Its skin is stiffer than you know that a goblin's is. You try to move its arm, and it seems like even for you for your intellect, you're not sure what this is called, but you know the bodies have reached their stage of stiffness.
Okay. But they are just like regular dead, essentially. Dope.
Yep, nothing
Um,
happens.
I'm going to drag one of them and I guess place it on top of the one that rotted into a pile and see what happens. See if we can just put a pile there, not risk spreading the contamination, and as well as burn them, you know what I'm saying? Burn them on our way out when we're leaving.
So the rot is isolated completely to that one, and as you throw the other body on top of it, it kind of just lands on it in this sickening, like, slurping sound as some of the
Yeah.
matter is just splished out.
Like, if you've ever been in the swamplands over at Finnazee and, like, tossed something into that nasty mud, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Just that. Yeah.
And the rest of you kind of moving the bodies all into a cohesive area. It doesn't affect Storm's concentration. And she, after about 10 minutes of sitting here and just with her eyes closed, focusing on her holy symbol, you open your eyes, Storm, and there's like this faint, like, blue energy kind of pulsing out of your eyes, and you see the world in front of you, but there's also these small little blips of magical auras. You know, do any of you guys have any magical items on you at this point? Nidus does. Okay.
I do not.
So you see a few magical items from, like the coin in that box that Nidus plays with sometimes. Or you see a aura, or a little blip on the pouch that he carries. There's a small aura coming from underneath the pile of bodies. And with the way that everything is kind of slawed out, you can tell that it's... and from looking at it, you can see that it's coming from the skull of Ymik, as well as the amulet. That amulet also has a small magical aura, and focusing on it, you can tell both of them. One is shit. What's the Eric? You would know this better than me. What's the School of Magic for charm?
Enchantment?
Enchantment.
So Ymik's skull has an enchantment aura, and the amulet has a necromantic aura.
Storm's gonna frown and she's gonna get up, kind of like just like frowning, looking at the things. She's gonna pick up the amulet. This amulet is necromantic in nature, the magic attached to it. Our friend Ymik seems to have some sort of enchantment, but just on his skull, not the rest of his body.
Huh. So we just take the skull then, I guess, yeah?
Well, if anybody has a fondness for cracking skulls, I have a feeling it's Lunk.
Is it the skull, or is it something in the skull?
Which is it?
You mind shaking the skull to see if something pops out?
Oh, I'm
Maybe.
not touching it. You're welcome to, though.
Fine. I'll pick up the goblin head and just kind of like... rattle
So,
it.
as you shake it, the rest of the skin that has been in the bone, or the flesh that is kind of situated on it, just completely slaws off to you. You have almost a pristine goblin skull in your hand. And you see a little bit of what amounts to be gray
good
matter just
God.
kind of running out of its eyes.
Oh,
It's fucking vile.
And the skull itself still holds that enchantment aura.
it's definitely the skull. She kind of looks away.
Did you say it's a charming skull?
So,
It's an enchantment. That's all I can tell.
if you have proficiency in Arcana, you can make me a check.
I do not.
Probably be Nidus and the...
Ooh, bad roll, bad roll.
I don't have proficiency in Arcana, RIP.
You do not.
No.
Well, we can keep the skull with us, and
Uh-huh.
we can get it looked at, I suppose.
Can I ponder on it again?
So, with the information, or with your prowess with spells of the arcane nature, you do know that when, in certain cases, if the spell is powerful enough or is taking place in the right time, or there are certain ways that charms specifically will linger after death. Or specifically, they're used to create a moderate undeath. So that's what this, at least from that role, you're kind of piecing together, is that this may be a lingering aura from the spell that was used to cause him to do what he has done.
But why did his skin melt off? Was he already dead?
That'd be a probably a safe bet. The
But
real
how
question
can
is why.
How does an enchantment work on a corpse? I thought that would be necromancy, wouldn't it?
Wasn't the neck necromancy?
Seems like it.
But I'm getting an enchantment from his head, so he must have been alive.
Also possible. Necromancer decided to use him while he was alive to do some kind of necromancy spell on him.
Yeah, but why did his skin slot off? I'm so confused.
I'm guessing the spell wore off. So the body's
maybe.
Yes, but
maybe
am I an idiot, or would enchantment it wouldn't be enchantment, it would be necromancy if he were alive.
maybe he did it willingly.
I'm not a necromancer.
I don't know enough about this kind of magic. We'll have to ask somebody who does.
Excuse me for a second.
Is that fire?
Yeah, I got a spider on my microphone.
Does it burn your microphone?
Why you're burning your spider?
I do know one thing though.
What's that?
You can't have necromancer without romancer.
Yeah.
Well, you have a type.
Humor. This is why I'm not a bard.
We've already discovered that my sense of humor is very unbard-like.
Well, I suppose I can take another. Since I have the spell going, I can just take a walk around the rest of the caverns, see if I can spot anything.
Now you sound like an adventurer.
Go get him.
That's why I came to Phandelver. I'd imagine that's why you're all here.
All this has done is create more questions.
I feel like I didn't sign up for this. Necromancy, skin melting goblins.
Oh, come on, Storm. It's all the more interesting.
Certainly,
You think that
certainly that.
me and Lady Valera would have seen this, in the Nine Hells? Skin rotting goblins are quite rare there.
I have to admit, I'm a bit out of my depth.
While we're talking, Storm is going to start making a walk around the rest of the tunnels and stuff, with her detect magic still going.
So with the it took you the better part of 4 minutes to get everything, or the better part of the 10 minutes, sorry, to get because in order for it to ritually cast, you have to kind of sit down and focus. If you cast it and use a spell slot, then you can walk around.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Well,
Spell slots? That's where we call the line.
yeah, fuck that.
That's the line.
Well, I already popped the healing word because I accidentally damaged Vlad. I didn't realize I would do that.
You didn't realize you would damage someone by throwing a solid ball of ice?
I said I was gonna throw it, and then you said, okay, it's ice, make a roll, blah, 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 and I realized I was gonna damage him, but I was already in too deep. I couldn't just say never mind.
Oh,
I did it for the meme.
Did it for the lulz.
With Yimik dead, that means we can't exactly ask him any more questions.
No.
So,
Unless, any of you happen to be a necromancer.
I'm afraid no.
Now's the time to speak up.
Well,
Nidus, are you taking possession of the amulet once more?
Probably, unless someone else wants to hold on to it. Although, I don't know if I need you guys reading my mind all the time. It's a dangerous thing to have a young man's mind.
I'm not sure what the I don't know what the purpose of an amulet like this would be.
You know,
do we
I do
remember?
have
Do we
them.
remember? Sorry, do we remember him wearing this amulet when we first met him?
Make me an intelligence check.
Fuck.
If you're posing this question to the group, then the rest of them can also.
Do we remember him wearing this amulet when we saw him a couple of days ago?
This is gonna
Roll an intelligence check.
scratch his chin and think.
Well, that was me, RP, posing it to the group.
I did it.
I accidentally did advantage, but just do disadvantage. It's the 6, not the 18, obviously.
I got it.
Lunk is not that guy.
That's literally my third
Not that
19 of the night, bro. That's a 20, a dirty 20.
I racked
That's
my
my
brain.
Damn.
Yeah. All of you except for Lunk, who is more into the blood or bringing blood and death to these goblins. You remember that this amulet was not there.
What the fuck? So in the time that we left, what was it, 2 days ago? And coming back, he got his hands on a magical amulet that projects his thoughts, and he fucking murders his entire group, and then his skin slows off? What the
Or
So,
a powerful
Big
necromancer
bad thing
came by
go
and did
little
this.
bad things?
We're gonna want to figure out more about this before we jump to any real conclusions.
So which-
suspect someone else did
Perhaps
this.
we can ask Agatha when we find her.
Which one of us wants to eat the rest of us when they're asleep? I think that one should be the one to hold on to the amulet.
Well, I feel like if I were going to eat you all in your sleep, I wouldn't announce it first.
If
Yeah,
anyone can hold on to it. I trust.
Lunk just
Sergeant
kind of looks at
Big Hand with
Storm.
it.
He's joking, right?
It's,
No, Lunk. He's not.
What?
I trust Berdain with it as well. He seems like a good guy.
Worst case scenario, when we get off track, he can shout into our minds to shut us up like the children we act like.
Let Lunk hold have many great thoughts.
Oh, give it to
Thanks,
Lunk. Give
but
it to
no
Lunk.
thanks.
Give it to
No,
Lunk.
no.
I wanna know
I am not having my brain subjected to his thoughts. I refuse.
Oh, please. It'll be such fun.
And then it somehow turns out he's got like an actual well-educated like British Cockney voice in his head for no fucking reason.
Or
He's just an idiot.
Or even better, like his thoughts are projected instead of in words or anything like that. It's just beautiful scenery. It's like in
I was gonna say,
pictures.
it's like not
It's
like
like
a
Disney-
child's
it's-
crayon drawings,
it's
but like
Disney
decently
animation.
done crayon drawings.
Oh, I was gonna say it's perfect Disney animation.
I'd much rather hear Lunk's thoughts than Bodain's.
And that's why we're giving it to Berdain and not Lunk.
Okay. Well, Berdain, you can add strange
Lunk will
jade
have his
amulet
day
to
one
your
day.
Inventory, sir. It's going to be a custom item. There's no actual.
I also
sheet
did
for it.
did any of us identify it, or is this just a magic amulet for now?
So
We'll
I
have to find
can't. I
someone who
don't have
knows.
identify.
Just because
Yeah.
I stepped away, so
I'm not wasting my identify on just this one amulet.
fair enough.
Can't-
I didn't know you had identify. That's actually dope to know, but like out of character, that's dope to know. But
You
Yeah, I
could have
used it
identified.
yesterday.
You could have identified Yimik's skull enchantment.
Nidus,
that last
you as well can cast identify as a ritual. It just takes a minute to like kind of focus in onto it.
I'd rather explore than sit here and identify. I'll do that later.
Okay.
Grab the skull. We'll take it with us.
But if the enchantment's fading,
I know I already moved my character into a tunnel, but could I grab the skull before I leave?
Berdain's
So-
holding it.
Yeah, Berdain was the one holding it.
Oh, the skull has the amulet like just embedded in it.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
we
No,
gave him
sir.
the amulet, and he's holding the skull right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I was confused. Then
Fine,
I'll
fine.
definitely take the skull. that fits in with the shit that I got. You know what I'm
Bring
saying?
it here. I'll go ahead and identify it. This isn't the fun part, though.
Yes, well, it wasn't fun permeating in that rot while I had to concentrate either.
Bad smell smells bad.
Bad smell smells bad, Lunk.
So I'll take a seat here and start identifying the skull.
Okay. So the skull, using your identify, you can tell that it itself is not magical. However, it still has a lingering aura of this enchantment magic. And you can know the spell as a combination or kind of like an alteration of a spell that you're a little familiar with, dominate monster or dominate creature. However, it has a slight, like, as you're focusing in, you can see the slightest of necromantic aura that gives the almost similar to the raise dead spell. So it seems like these two spells were used in unison on this creature.
Okay.
As for
And
the
Leaxiel from a long time ago would love this.
While I'm at it, let's identify the amulet in case it's evil.
You remember my gnome cleric?
yes. So the amulet is the bet or this is kind of a it's hard to get an actual grasp on what it is fully, but the amulet has the necromantic aura similar to the one that was on in the skull, gathering that if after attuning to this, you would be able to use the spell Raise Dead once per day. However, it has a minor enchantment along with it that is best described as hive mind.
Oh,
As in, the thoughts projected from the wearer go out to the others. And
At will, can you like turn it on or off, or is it just like you can't hide your thoughts at all?
nope, cannot hide your
it's a
thoughts.
hive mind. You share thoughts.
And you also can tell that it is cursed.
Ooh.
Well, Sergeant, after taking a look at that,
I'm gonna take back Lunk's
don't know if you really want to tune into that.
volunteering to hold the amulet.
Lunk doesn't know. Nidus hasn't said anything about it yet.
I don't give a fuck. I take it back.
I'm assuming that Nidus is explaining this as
Okay.
I'm explaining it.
You're assuming incorrectly.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it. So yeah, none of you know.
I just
That,
recommend that I not attune to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. It's a cursed item.
Oh.
But
Should
hey,
we, should we destroy it?
if you do attune to it, you could raise the dead with it. That's cool.
I think it'll do just fine in my
Like
pocket.
like make an undead creature or bring something back to life?
Make a zombie kind of
Oh.
thing.
Well, you
We'll hold
could
it for now.
destroy it, or you could sell it.
Maybe.
Which should,
I feel like
or
even I can see it would be in bad conscience to sell a cursed object,
Mm,
knowing
That's
that
what-
it's cursed.
normally I'd agree, but we are going to go see a witch later on, aren't we?
Ooh, we could use this to trade.
Maybe a
well,
witch
wouldn't-
would be interested in
wouldn't you-
something cursed like this.
I feel like that could also end very poorly.
but maybe she would like it. Maybe the
Maybe
curse of
Oh yeah.
maybe
Can
the
we get a-
curse of sharing thoughts would be
Ooh, ooh.
interesting to a witch.
I also
Maybe which knows who uses
Hold on,
this
hold
magic.
on. Perhaps if I have some time with it, I can decurse it. I'm not sure I can do it at this moment, but eventually, perhaps.
Or, and hear me out, I can hold on to it until we find whoever Agatha is, this witch next to Conyberry. Or, who knows, we might even find Larno. You know, that wizard that's out here in Phandelver somewhere.
Who?
Hmm.
His
Good
name's
point.
Larno Albrecht. He's a wizard that works for the Alliance.
Oh.
Build
Yes.
the alliance. Sorry.
Question
Sorry.
for the DM. How does it work for clerics? Like, can I bless it and decurse it? Do I have to have the spell decurse?
You would have to have the spell remove curse.
Remove curse. Okay.
And at that point, you also, like, depending on the spell level of the object, if it's above, like, if the spell that is on the cursed object is above a level 3, then you would have to roll a d20, and
It's like counterspell.
yes.
So, regardless, these things exist in the world. So I think we just hold on to it until we don't need to anymore.
Sounds like a plan.
And
Point.
I'm not going to attune to it.
quick thing for you guys as well, for the fight of the owlbear, you did receive 117 experience each.
Oh, dope.
Did we get anything from just like all the town shenanigans and stuff like that?
117 XP. I became Spartan 117. Okay.
How much?
Sierra
experience again?
117. Reporting for duty.
117.
117.
117.
I'd be Lima 117. 'Cause my name starts with L.
Okay. Little party.
Or Lima if you're from the fucking south.
I want to keep exploring this cave. There's probably more cool stuff. And maybe we can find some.
I don't know. We sort
Crude
of
map.
should get a move on. We can give it one quick look around, but I don't want to live here any
I say
longer.
a quick.
Could
A
I
quick
do like a
one's over.
perception check or something to see if we hear any other sounds of life? Kind of like how the same way we barely heard the gnashing of teeth and whatnot to find this guy.
Sure. Go for it.
Awesome. Dirty 20.
There's the sound of trickling water. The flow is a little bit heavier than what you remembered before. And you do hear the sound of thunder, snow, and rain outside. The whistling of the wind through the trees.
Okay, nothing that we didn't hear beforehand.
Question for
Aside from the
DM.
gnashing of
How
teeth,
the hell do you
obviously,
hear
but-
snow?
You ever been in a blizzard?
That's more wind. You're correct. You don't really hear the snow.
No, that shit whistles because it's blowing through all the snow. You can kind of hear wind flurries or snow flurries and whatnot.
It falls
makes
off
noise.
the branches.
Oh
Yeah.
That's a
I've
good
been-
point.
Bodine?
I will blizzards suck. You can't see like 2 feet in front of your car.
So, venturing through the rest of the or through the cavern, Verdane, Storm, the rest of the party, I'm assuming, is following. You notice the pool that you have frozen over, Storm, has slightly thawed, and in the thinner patches
Oh, it
of ice,
unfreezes after an hour, actually.
right? But it's still cold here.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So it slowed the thawing process. So through the thin layer of ice that's still remaining, you do see these bloated goblinoid bodies just kind of floating in there. So, one of them has kind of floated down with the stream, or the flow of the stream, and blocked the rock passage, and so there's like this trickle of water that's flowing around it.
That's unpleasant.
And other than the bodies of the goblins and bugbear that you have or previously encountered, there's nothing here. Or at least in this chamber. And moving into where Clark was, you can whoever is proficient in investigation, go ahead and roll me a check.
I would like to go in there and take a look.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Start getting the bodies out of the water.
We have to be proficient with it.
I'm asking for it. Yeah.
Sad face.
I feel like there's something we may have missed here.
Can I just terribly investigate?
Sure. This would be one of the ones that's in disadvantage for you.
Yeah, that's why I was like, come on.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
Lunk, you notice that there's a bit of food scraps in the fire pit. Some are salvageable. There's a few little morsels.
Normally I'd
Vladius,
take them, but we just got the owlbear, so I'm going to leave them alone for now.
Vladius, you're the one that notices it first. There is almost like a sand drawing in the kind of dust of the loose stone that's in the floor of this area. It looks to be an arcane sigil underneath the fireplace.
Ritualistic.
It does. And with Nidus's investigation and kind of piecing the pieces together, it is a necromantic sigil.
It's all coming together.
Could you identify that as well?
I guess. Let's see what it is.
Divination sounds fun.
Really don't like messing with necromancy because I don't understand it.
Well, I'd like a better idea of what's going on here, if we can.
I'm gonna investigate it then.
Okay. So, using identify, this is the remaining parts of the raised dead sigil. Some of the sigils have been burned away, showing that it has been used.
After I've gotten all the knowledge I need from it, I'm gonna stop moving, droop my head, and then slowly stand up and face away from the party as if I'm becoming zombified.
Oh. Fucking already.
Then I'll turn to the party with my arms out.
Very funny, Nidus.
Crossbows raised.
Yeah, that's what this
Nidus,
was.
I hope this is a good joke.
Yeah, this is where that took place at.
Clearly.
Oh.
You guys are so gullible.
Should have been more convincing with it.
The
Made my
sigil's
eyes
clearly been used.
You can never be too careful.
I told you to work on that jumpiness. You're gonna shoot Nidus again.
This time I
Yes.
almost deserved it.
Sorry in advance.
I'll accept the apology as long as
Noted.
it's acceptable.
Vladdy hates surprises. And jokes. And anything he's not expecting. Does that sound about right, Val?
You pretty much nailed it there, son.
Well, I don't know about the surprises. Maybe it's just me, though.
Oh, I'm sure it's just you. She kind of gives her a wink.
Got like blue blushies on her cheeks. She's like, no.
Oh yeah, this is definitely where the undeadening took place at.
Well, I'm getting the willies the longer we stay here. Can we go? Are you satisfied?
Is there any more areas to explore in this cave?
From your last walkthrough, no, it's a pretty short and shallow cave.
Then I guess I'm satisfied. There's nothing left in here.
Well, if
Yeah,
you're not
mix and
satisfied, we can take care of that later.
The nooks and crannies.
I don't plan on coming back.
Secret stashes.
With your investigation, you do a very thorough search of looking around, and you're not able to find much. You kind of with that roll, you're very you're comfortable in the thought that you've found everything.
Excellent. The rogue in me, the rogues guild training in me required, top-notch investigation, looking for every spare coin or anything of worth.
Right.
Sorry to ask the questions.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Real question is, are we gonna wait the storm out?
I
Are we
haven't
gonna
had
go
enough
out
time to create a new
that
one for
mess?
lost or for
Little
mines.
storm never bothers anybody. We're not at sea. It won't kill us. Besides, those poor horses. We just left them.
That's fine and dandy and all.
I
but
love
I'm
it
not
when you
trying to
cry,
get
John.
soaked.
Little storm never bothered anyone, she said, as if she implied that she is little.
Oh,
Won't
you're
be that
so
bad.
funny, Vlad.
It's much through worse.
Okay.
Going
So,
back through the storm.
leaving the cave
Sorry,
and making
does,
your way
does the
back
princess need an umbrella?
If you have one. But I don't think you do.
I don't. Unless, can I use shape water to form like a dome around me to like redirect the water away?
through? For creative use, I'll say yeah.
She will do that for Valera. She doesn't care if herself gets wet, but she'll do it for Valera as a joke.
Okay.
Quickness of you, Scott.
So,
The nicest thing I've seen you do.
Valir, as you're walking through and out of the cave, where you see the rest of your party kind of starting to get drenched with the rain and spattered with bits of snow, it is all kind of just flowing off around you in this kind of soft dome above your head.
Oh, that's so cute. You see her tail just like wagging all happily.
Leaving a haphazard snake trail through the snow that's starting to stick to the ground.
Well, I owed Vladdy for throwing ice at him. I think he's still a little salty about that.
Possibly a
I
little
think you mean
sore.
frigid.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nidus. Would you like an umbrella too?
No, I don't want to hold ice. I'm good.
So, having traveled through this path before, and making your way back through, avoiding some of the pitfalls that you notice on the way up here, the ground has has gotten to a point of severe slushiness, a mix of mud and snow. And your travel is a bit slower than normal, but you are able to make it back to your cart a little after midday, only spending maybe about 30 minutes searching through the cave. And getting back to the cart, what do you guys do?
Time to hop in, I guess.
I
We
suppose
have
we should
a.
get a move on.
We should pack down our gear, yeah?
Probably.
Make sure everything's secured. Check the cart. Do we need to check the cart for safety? Is that okay since we've left?
Everything, or doing a quick glance over it, nothing's been touched. The horses seem a little upset that they're, standing in the cold snow and rain, but pulling open a couple of one of their saddlebags and one of the pouches that has already been is affixed to the side of the inside of the carriage, you find shawls for the horses, as well as a thicker leather coat that goes over it for warmth and weather.
I'll give him some food too.
Okay.
Let's give the horses their warm coats, yeah? Bundle them up.
And
I'll do you one even better. I'll use prestidigitation on both the coats to make them warm coats as we put them on there.
so, along with Gladius's petting and Nidus's prestidigitation, As the two of you kind of move around the horses, both of them kind of let out a huff. Nidus is a little familiar with it. This is like a relaxing, sigh of relief and appreciation, I guess is the best way to say it. And the female of the group of the two, you have one male, one female. As you kind of situate the coat on it and it's warm, it kind of nuzzles its nose up against you, Nidus. And after getting everything settled up, and while you guys are setting everything up, Lunk is sitting up front with Gladius, just kind of petting and calming the horses and setting everything in its place. Lunk moves around and sits down and kind of on the back of the cart with his big weight, and you guys begin moving once again down the Tribor Trail. And I'll move you guys back to the map of the area. So Lunk holding it out. So who's up front?
I don't sit up front.
So that'd be me.
Verdane and
Vlad.
I will sit with Berdan, yeah.
okay, Vlad and Verdane. Why, Storm?
Because I can.
Okay. So off in the distance, probably about 40 feet in front of you, as the cart begins to move, you hear the sound of like the ground trembling and shaking, almost as if there's a tremor going through it. And as you guys approach, it just stops. And looking back with your passive perception, you see Storm out back there just cackling.
I'm puzzled.
You enjoying yourself?
In response, she changes her eye color to red.
Oh, we're playing that game, are we? And she kind of just, and like looking at her eyes turn completely black, and she just tilts her head and she's like, "Is this one better for you?"
Storm
like
turns
those.
her Storm
Those
turns
match
her
mine.
Storm turns her eyes white now, just like completely milky white, and she's just grinning and laughing at Val.
I'm gonna pull out a book and start reading while they play around.
Okay. Do you have a name for this book?
Wizard Spellbook for Agatha.
Ah. Okay. If you want to read through that, you can make me an Arcana check. Yeah.
Make the book smell like roses.
I'm definitely gonna read this book for a while.
All right. So you guys are moving a little bit slower than normal, but on the cart it acts as regular movement, like regular foot movement. So you're able to make about 3 miles per hour, making you guys gonna travel about 24 miles in the span of a day. And let's see, so that means you're gonna per hour you'll be moving one hexagon. And Nidus, as you begin reading, you gather that this is a high level spell book. Some of the glyphs and writings on it are a little further out of your purview, or a little higher level than what you're used to, but it's more of a journal of spells rather than a in practice or a practicing wizard spell book. Kind of more like theories of different uses of spells and how to change them up a little bit. And you guys get, within like 2 hours, you make your way back onto the Tribor Trail, just a little southeast of the way from the forest where you left. And at this point, that's when Lunk in the back begins just kind of looking around after for a moment, and both Storm and Val have apparently begun messing with him, and Lunk, you begin hearing like dissonant whispers, and that's kind of what you're looking around searching for, to see the source of the whispers. But making your way through, the storm begins to let up a little bit to a slight drizzle, and the snow begins to slow, but the wind is keeping up. Every so often there's a strong gust of wind that blows across the cart, leaving you guys with a slight chill. Continuing on for another, let's see, you guys would have about 5 hours left in the day. Maybe about 6 hours in this season. And you guys would be able to get just outside of Conyberry before the sun begins to fully set. And let's move our token of representation. Let me get my description open. So, it would be Nidus and Burdane that would know this area a little, or at least some of the history of the area. So if you guys want, you can make me a history check.
I'll do it, and you won't like it. I won't like it.
That's the thing I'm proficient in.
I didn't do too shabby.
history.
Hey.
Okay. Valera, you haven't really spent much time in this realm, but if you want, you can make me a history check and see if by some means you're able to figure out what I'm asking for. Well, actually, they succeeded already, so.
Yeah, what about 20, baby?
What was it?
23.
I heard 20.
Holy fuck. Okay. Okay.
Natural or dirty?
Natural. It was a 23
Oh,
altogether. Yeah.
Okay. So, having or not having much of the knowledge, or not having much knowledge of the area, you have heard stories in the short time that you stayed in Neverwinter, Valera, about the town of Conyberry. And Nidus and Burdane, both having lived in this area, you would gather the same knowledge. The town of Conyberry, about a decade and a half ago, was sacked by a barbarian tribe that used to make its home in the Neverwinter Wood, but has long since moved on in their migratory pattern. But the town of Conyberry now lies in complete ruin. The Tribor Trail runs right through it, and it provides an easy landmark for those who are traveling into the Dessarian Valley from the Sword Coast. But there is not much for there's not much in terms of like actual civilianry or that are in this town. It lies completely abandoned. And going through You see the stone structures of the towns with the thatch roofs begin to like slowly rot away in the time that it's just been sat unattended. The grass that has grown up and vines have kind of taken over some of the stone structures. There's probably about 10 to 15 of these ruins that sit on either side of the Tribor Trail, creating this small town. However, moving past in the middle of the night, it just gives you this eerie feeling, and just this weird silence as the wind continues to whistle through the structures. But nothing of note that you see.
Looks as good a place as any to stop for the night, doesn't it?
Suppose so. Are there any buildings in town that look a bit like they've survived a bit better than the others? Maybe like a church or something?
There is one building that is a little bit larger than the others, and instead of having a thatch roof, it does have a wooden roof with what looks to be like ceramic tiles on it to provide a little bit more coverage and support. It is almost completely, the walls are almost completely wrapped in these strange vines. However, the doorway and the door is just hanging ajar, like broken off of its hinge and just hanging in the way. But that is one structure you see, and it stands probably about 15 feet across and 20 feet deep.
All right, I'll point towards it. That's our that's our bidding for the night. Bit of a fixer-upper, if you ask me.
That's our port in a storm.
I've been kicked out of worse.
Quick side note, what are we looking at? My headphones kept cutting out.
So you've made it your way.
Building.
Yeah. You've made it to Conyberry. 15 or 10 to 15 structures along the road, all of them in some or different states of dilapidation and decay. One in particular is a little bit well or better made and has stood the relative test of time. But it looks like an abandoned village. And Burdane is kind of pointing you towards this larger room, or this larger building.
Oh, this looks delightful.
Better than the alternatives.
Can we tell how long it's been since anybody's been here?
No. It's old. Maybe once we get inside.
I love sleeping in abandoned villages.
We can gauge how abandoned it is based off the thickness of the dust.
I mean, if you want to sleep in the carriage, I guess you're welcome to it. The horses will keep you company.
Well, let's have a look then.
Okay.
I would like some protection from the environment.
And Storm is just gonna keep on alert, kind of like on the lookout.
Okay. Well, easy enough.
Enter first. Nice open doorway.
There are some nice. There is a I forget what it's called, a hitching post just outside of this building. But in stepping in, you see that it seems to be a larger, or this larger building. And looking around, there's shelves that line the walls in a large kind of bar situation that bisects the entire room with one of those flipping doors that leads into further back in the small doorway that leads into a room further in the back. There is very little lighting in here, and with it being dark out already, it's almost pitch black in here.
Dark vision, so...
So with your dark, or those of you with dark vision, or if you're carrying a torch, you would be able to see the shelves that line the wall.
Is there anything on the shelf? Anything on the shelves that we can see, or that I can see?
broken vials, random scraps of paper, are completely strewn about the place.
A lot of garbage.
Yeah, it's a lot of. It looked like
I'm-
this
I'm
place has been
sure-
picked through
I'm
many
sure with
times.
I was gonna say with a lot of investigation, maybe we could find something useful, but I'm assuming it's all garbage.
If you want to make an
Maybe-
investigation, you can go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to, just because.
Gladius, I'd argue that the useful thing we found is sheltered for the night.
Yeah,
Poke around, if you'd like.
maybe we could find something to bar the door or offer some more protection. You know.
Maybe. Nidus, you mind providing
That'd be
us with some light?
Yeah, I'm actually want to look around and see if there's any torch spots on the wall, braziers, anything that could be lit.
There
Or
are.
a fireplace.
I'll go around and light those with firebolt.
Okay. And so, Lunk is also aiding with the, like, as you're lighting one side of the braziers, Nidus, Lunk is going around and lighting the other side, creating a well-lit room. With that investigation check and the aid of the light, you are able to find a book sitting on that long table. It has a bunch of blank pages that seem to be left alone, and then others towards the middle that have been ripped out. And this seems to be a ledger of sorts. Combing through it just a little bit, this used to be a trading post, basically, of large quantities of goods. So you're seeing that people are.
That makes sense with the design of the room. I understand. Why would the pages be missing? Unless there was a horrible. The rogue in me comes.
You know the town was attacked roughly a decade ago by barbarians, so maybe the store owner in a frenzy snatched out the pages he needed and left.
That or there was a horrible debt that was owed. The barbarians were the diversion, and the debt went unpaid.
I don't believe barbarians would be able to read too well, so I would expect them to care about a book.
It could be paid off though.
Regardless,
less than
it's
the
not our
with
mistress
less than the
souls.
cost for the debt. Yeah, true. Let's
And
just find safety for the night. You're all right.
And for your clarification, Lunk, you did buy
muted
more
himself.
torches
He doesn't want to
before you
shit.
left. You bought those. Like all of you bought provisions
We're in
for your travel, so you have 5 more torches in your pouch.
I see you, you cheeky cunt. Welcome back. Smooches.
What?
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 Well, was there a question that I missed?
Oh no.
Okay.
Just making fun of you.
Oh, okay.
Can
Wow.
I? Nah. I was gonna say, if we'd like, I can try and detect magic.
It's up to you. You can do that while, and are you guys setting up a rough camp for this area?
First things
Yeah.
first is fixing the doorway.
Okay.
What do you want to fix about it?
Well, perhaps we can push a shelf in front of it, if it's got a back to it.
Block it off. Find a table.
I
Hey.
love trapping myself in one place.
It's a bookshelf store.
You don't think we could fix the door?
I don't know
itself?
if you've seen these noodle arms, but if I need to run and that bookshelf's in the way, the bookshelf is going to win.
Surely we could fix that door, just probably off the hinges. That's a quick fix.
If you'd like a project, go for it, Nidus. Occupy your time.
I will. I've got this and
If
one
there's
other thing
one-
I want to do before
If there's
bed.
one thing I've seen, it's that Nidus is skilled at fixing things and making things.
He is quite the tinkerer.
He could make us the best door we'd ever see. He just
I'm
wanted
gonna
to.
take a look at the door outside and see the state of it.
Okay, so you have both Smith's tools and Tinker's tools. Perfect.
Do.
Looking at the door, there is a small split in the wood where the hinge had been basically ripped off, and so that's what leaving. And it's drooping to the side where that top hinge has been broken. But you get the hinge is still there on the stone anchor of the wall. So it would be pretty easy to, take a few loose nails from other places and fix it. If you want to make me, this would be dexterity plus your proficiency. So roll a d20 plus 6.
All right, D20 plus 6, easy enough. Please stop. Down, go. You're gonna break it. Go. There you go.
Perfect. So easy enough to fix. It only takes you about 15 minutes to really, get it situated and the pieces nailed in, and you now have a roughly functioning door.
I'm done. I'll swing the door closed.
Okay. And that leaves you guys with a relatively safe place from the elements. And so what I'm going to do now is roll a d6.
And somebody has to roll.
1, 2, 3. Well, it's a 4, so that's storm again. Holy shit.
Okay.
Roll a d20.
6.
6. Okay.
TPK, guys, it's all me.
Thanks, Kayla.
A blizzard snows you in.
So,
Donner party, here we come.
as you guys are making camp and getting everything situated and bedding down for the evening, the wind that's howling through the area kind of backs off, but the snow returns at a little bit of a heavier pace, and kind of starts blanketing the area in this white blanket. But do we want to do a watch for the evening, or are we just bedding down in the safety of this room?
Well, I'm completely useless on watch, so I suppose I'll just go to sleep.
I'll take the first watch.
Okay.
Lunk, you are terrible on watch. If Lunk's gonna watch, somebody needs to watch with him.
Well, we've discussed his disadvantages and advantages, and he won't have disadvantage on perception because that is something he is good
when
at.
it comes to like wisdom and intelligence,
It's not
the only
about-
two
it's-
things
it's
that
not
can
about
do
the
normal on is
perception.
perception
It's
and
not about-
survival.
Wait, it's not about the perception roll itself. It's the fact that it's dark, and you and I don't have dark vision.
This is true.
I don't give a shit if Lunk's an idiot. It's just like
We got torches.
literally
I
can't
can see
see.
60 feet.
30 feet for torches.
Also, we've established
30
that
feet
the
of bright
torches
light.
that the torches don't eliminate our disadvantage. So if Lunk's gonna watch, somebody needs to watch with him. Just like if Storm ever watches, somebody needs to watch with her.
I have a better idea. I had something I want to do before I go to sleep anyways, so I'll just take first watch.
Okay.
I feel perfectly safe here.
I feel safer after I just fix that door.
I haven't done much spell use, so I'm not tired really.
Alright, Lunkinitis.
Okay.
Plus, the town's abandoned.
Yeah.
Nice little piece of history.
So, first perception check of the evening. And,
For this one, I was gonna say, could I try to just give Nidus advantage on this? Does it still work the same way as our last campaign,
I don't want your
or
advantage. I got a 20.
Alright, listen here.
Yes, it still would work that way.
He doesn't want it, so I'll do better than him.
You have to roll disadvantage.
No, I can roll perception normally.
It
It's
is,
because it's dark.
and you don't have dark vision, right?
That's what I've been trying to say.
Even
So-
with a torch?
It's only 30
We've-
feet, and you're only.
We've been over this.
Yeah, it's only 30 feet of bright light. After that 30 feet,
It's okay,
begins to get
Mr.
dark. Human vision can go out to as far as your eye can see, but past that 30 feet, you can't see much. It's
Does
hard
this-
to see.
I
Does
thought
this
a torch
building have-
illuminated 60
have
feet
windows?
total.
30 feet.
I thought it
Hooded
was
lamp.
30 feet of bright light and 30 feet of dim light.
Mm-mm. It begins to fade after that 30 feet complete to
Yeah,
almost
it's been like
completely.
this the whole time.
It's a hooded lantern that does 60 feet.
Yeah, Lunk and Storm are fucked if it comes to seeing anything in the dark.
Technically, a torch is looking at it 20 feet of bright light and then 10 feet of dim.
Ah.
But either way, even without rolling the disadvantage, both of you go through your watch and you don't hear anything. It is silent, besides the howling of the wind and the storm that begins to fade away. However, both of you kind of are looking out the windows and watching the snow just gently gather on the windowsills.
During my watch, I'm gonna enhance my revolver.
Okay.
So now it's just treated as a +1 revolver.
Right.
Wasn't it already like that, or did you have to refresh it?
I hadn't done it yet. I meant to do it the day before and didn't get a chance to.
I thought you did it when we were in the cart on the way to Cragmaw. Because Lung asked if you could do it to his, and you said that not until you had rested.
Yeah, but I also didn't do it to mine. I said that because I was gonna do it, and never got a chance to. But when I wake up, I can do another one. So that's why I did it before my rest.
Okay.
Well, since Lunk is essentially useless, as the party calls it, he's just gonna go to bed.
We wouldn't say useless,
I'll
You
wake
could
up
give
if I
somebody
need anything.
advantage.
but or do that. Well, the rest of the evening, or your watch, Nidus and Lunk go off without a hitch, and you don't see anything for the entire time that you're watching. And it looks like an abandoned village, and most people intentionally try not to travel through here at night. So it's relatively quiet.
Storm will take a watch if somebody watches with her.
I'll watch with Storm.
You two have fun. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, so we'll treat this as like the third watch, just for the sake of brevity. So, you two, perception.
I'll just give Vlad advantage.
Oh, with advantage. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Even kind of taking the moment and looking out the door, there are no trails leading through the snow. You can see your footprint or your group's footprints and the horses' footprints kind of slowly filling in. But the rest of the evening goes off easily. And you guys awaken just before sunrise. It is a little bit colder than it was the day before. So even with the warmth of the braziers that you guys lit and the torches that have been set around the area, the inside of this building is a little bit warmer than the outside. But you can definitely get the sense of there being a chill in the air.
I wonder, why is this town abandoned?
Well,
I don't
a
know.
few years ago, we had
I mean, the attack and all, but
we. So you remember the barbarian attacks on Conyberry?
yeah.
Okay. Well, trying to recover from that can be quite, well, difficult when most of your stuff has been stolen and quite a few people killed.
Oh,
Mm.
there was just no one left to come back to the town.
Well, not necessarily, but those that stayed
They went.
probably didn't stay for long. I wouldn't have if I
Understand.
were in their
A
position.
happy place, I
Understandable.
suppose.
Good place to spend the night.
And to top things off, there's a witch in the near vicinity.
Oh, it just
He
gets
probably
better.
likes the peace and quiet.
Just gets
I would
better
imagine.
and better.
Sure, she loves her neighbors, silent and dead.
So if I can peek out of the window in the shop, what does the town look like in the daytime, or like in the early morning at least?
So looking out, that odd, eerie sense of foreboding that you got approaching it in the nighttime has faded slightly. And oddly, even with the oddly with the snow on the ground, this place looks almost like serene, you know, relaxing. Just the quiet of the area, the lack of travel, um, and it's a complete 180 from the vibe it gave you last night.
All right. Well, let's take a few minutes to compose ourselves, maybe eat something, pack up,
Well,
and then we can get the show on the road.
Good idea.
Sounds like a plan. Is on the map, where's Agatha's cabin located?
Not quite sure we ever got that exact information. We might just have to poke around in the woods.
I didn't she mark it on the map for us? Just the general location.
She marked the trail that
The
would
trail.
lead there.
And where's the trails? To the north or south?
So,
The one that leads into the woods.
one moment.
I would assume.
I mean, where else would a witch go?
I'll place a big dwarven finger on the map. About right there, I'd assume.
Okay. So, the kind of marked the marked areas on the map. You can see that there is a small trail that leads a little northwest into the western edge of the north or the western edge of the Neverwinter Wood. And putting or just kind of looking around. Holy fuck, are you serious? There's like spiders everywhere in here.
These things are bomb, by the way.
Are they?
Dark chocolate covered acai and blueberry.
ooh, I love those fucking things.
Oh, those things, yeah. You were eating them yesterday.
Just
Well, and you're able to kind of put together and glance about the or down the road, and you are able to see a small, like, kind of indention of the road where it looks like there's grass poking up through, and then there's a bald area. So, giving the idea that this is the path that leads northward out of town. There is one that leads almost directly west, but you would know that that leads you into the Desarian Valley.
Well, should we get a move on?
Hold it. West. This one.
No, Patrick, that's Weast.
That's what I
Or
thought.
east, sorry.
Okay, there we go. I thought our cardinal directions were wrong.
Mm-mm. I'm just dumb.
Okay. It's okay. We all have moments. Okay. As soon as everyone's packed up and ready to go, I say we head west.
Get
Yes,
back
let's
into
go
the
find
woods.
this Agatha.
Okay.
Over
See
the
if
river
that's-
and through the woods to the witch's house
So
we go.
which is a sweet girl.
And it easily takes you only about an hour to make your way down the path to the edge of the wood.
If one of the meat shields would like to lead, I will follow close behind and kind of keep an eye out. Now that it's lighter out, I should be able to see better.
Yeah.
And I'll lead Storm. But I would like to address your what I'll assume is an affectionate nickname,
Oh, obviously.
Meat Shield.
If you were an actual meat shield, you haven't done a very good job in recent past.
Right.
Lead on. She kind of claps him on the shoulder.
Quite the bossy one.
She shrugs.
I'm just staring at her.
Oh,
Right.
don't worry. If you take an arrow, I'll heal you.
What is Sergeant Big Hand thinking since he still has the amulet in his possession?
Possession, not wearing. I
So
would assume that's a difference, right?
with this item,
Mm.
it is in your possession, yes. It is not projecting your thoughts, but if you did, you get the feeling if you pulled it out and were just kind of looking at it and holding it, it would.
Oh, he could be so passive aggressive if he wanted to.
There's not much passive about Bardane Big Hand.
I know he's been giving me a lot of passive aggressive looks.
I don't think they're passive.
Interpret as you like.
He is a true warrior, even in his look.
Well, as the clear leader of this little group, Bodane, lead on? Question mark?
Okay. So I'm going to mark this on your map because now you'll be able to see where we are. Boom.
Ooh, it's a layer? That has a negative connotation.
And we will
Lots of
put you
things have
guys there. So, traveling through this wood,
People have layers.
as you step in, the lighting around you is still similar. It's broad, or it's early morning, the sun is bright, and it has this extra, like, shine to it because there's snow covering the trees and covering the land, or the land around you. But as you get about a mile into the forest, the thicket above you has not gotten any thicker, but for some reason the lighting has gotten slowly and slowly darker. And so as the forest grows dark and still, the trail begins to wind deeper and deeper into the trees. You're starting to see heavy vines and thick layers of moss draping the branches, and the air in this area is noticeably colder. So even with it being snowing outside, you're having to bundle a little bit closer to yourselves to keep warm. Rounding a bend in the trail, you see a screen almost made of warped branches of trees that are standing close together and woven into a dome-like shelter that sits in the shadows. And there's a low doorway that kind of has etched earth that leads downward into it.
Looks very welcoming.
I do think we might have found someone's home.
Well, we wouldn't want to trespass. Should we announce our presence? As far as we know, Agatha isn't hostile, is she?
No, don't believe
That's-
so. Especially not if Gorel was willing to make her way out here by herself.
Well, perhaps she knows Gorel and she doesn't know us. I can use thaumaturgy to announce our presence if you'd like.
Or we could just talk.
That could be seen kind of aggressive, couldn't it? Doing the whole loud voice thing.
Maybe
what else
booming is great for goblins, but maybe not so
Have it
much
your
for...
way. Suppose Val should do the talking.
I suppose we knock on the door. Or the
I
wall of
thought-
the hut.
Maybe this time Lunk doesn't knock. He did a good job last time, but
Okay, I suppose I'll do it. And she's gonna kind of gingerly like make her way up to the door on alert and give a light knock.
Okay.
Nidus, make sure you have the spell book ready, and I'll pull out the silver comb. that
Okay.
Gorel
I'll go
gave us.
ahead and retrieve it and walk up to the door as well. But not
Val,
crowd
stay
it.
close, please. You're a better talker than I.
And as you
Bar's been set pretty low.
as you approach and knock on the door, in your nervous state, you give a very light and tentative knock. And even with that slight amount of pressure, the door just swings open, almost as if you had pushed
Oh.
it completely open.
Um,
And
Hello?
no answer.
Anybody home?
Nope. And
We brought a what is this, a gift?
Aye.
We've brought a gift for you, Agatha. I don't want to intrude.
maybe we should leave it here. Leave a note as well.
Well,
No,
she's
we're
supposed to tell
ask
us.
questions.
Yeah, we're supposed to ask
Oh.
her questions.
You can
The
come
door is
back.
here. The door is open. I'm gonna peek in and see if I see anything.
I'm not walking into a witch's lair without permission.
I'm not walking in. I'm peeking in.
to be fair, you don't know that it's called a lair, because although the X is marked, just consider the X is marked there, but not the name of it, unless you
Well,
specifically
either way,
write it in.
a witch lives here. I'm not walking into a witch's hut. Like,
Sure, sure, she's a lovely lady. I'm gonna peek in and see if I see her.
So, in this home, there are sorts of, or a home of sorts is sheltered with a dome of woven branches. It is sparsely furnished with chests, shelves, a table, and a reclined couch. All of it old and seemingly elven in craft.
Ooh.
Any signs that someone's been here recently?
Not really. There's a layer of dust that coats everything. Yeah, not much in the way of like evidence of life.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna completely walk in.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna go call out her name. I'm gonna call out her name. Agatha? Hello?
She's not home. Let's come back later or something.
No one's been here in a while. I'm seeing dust everywhere.
And Nidus, as you're kind of like just walking around the perimeter of the room, and Vlad is shouting out, all of you feel a wind of kind of blow in from behind you. And for you, Nidus, the air around you begins to grow cold with a powerful, almost like feeling of dread that just grips into your chest. And in front of you, a cold, pale light begins to flicker, just in front of that old reclining couch. And it rapidly begins taking a form of a female elf, kind of hovering 3 or 4 feet in the air. Her hair and robes are waving in a very spectral wind. You can see, Nidus, that at one point she might have been a very beautiful elf. However, her face is currently twisted into a hateful expression, and almost completely mars her face. And as she's looking at you, you can see the white, glowing eyes just kind of move back and forth between you and the party that are still standing at the door. And again, you hear it as if the voice is kind of like clawing at the back of your head, and you hear, "Foolish mortals, what do you want here? Don't
Sister
you
Bell?
know that it is death in order to seek me?"
Sister Gorel sent us from, Phandelver.
Hey, Burdane, can I get that comb real quick? I'll go ahead and offer it to our lovely friend here. I'll reach back and get the comb. A gift for you, Madam Agatha.
The ghostly figure in front of you, her mouth contorts into this weird smile of cold amusement. "I see you bring me gifts. Now, I guess you have something that you want from me as well?"
Sister Gorel asked us to ask you to have a look at this tome for us. It belonged to a mage named Bowgentle.
Well, very well. I will take your offering. And know that you may ask one question, and I will give you one answer.
Can we have a little bit of a sidebar? To
That is the question. Don't ask that question. You were starting to ask a question.
She continues to smile, and a sidebar.
I'm going to talk to my friends real quick to decide what to ask you, if that's all right.
Very well. But no,
Storm is still outside the hut, by the way, just like.
And you can still hear it in the back of your head, and like, but no, I don't wish to be here for very long. Do make it quick.
We will make it quick.
Alright, so just to confer here, we were here to ask her about the spell book, right?
Yeah, but we don't know what we're supposed to ask.
Just about the spell book.
But what about it? Do we just say, tell us what you can about the spell book?
Maybe, do we need to know about the mage who owned it, or what it was used for, or what
So
other
perhaps
purposes?
we ask something along the lines of oh shit what
Perhaps
What was the purpose of this book?
Well, I can tell you this book has some pretty high level magic in it. Maybe
what was this book
we should
used for?
figure out what it is.
What is this book used for? Do we want to go with that?
no.
No?
No, it's a spell book.
It's
We
used
know
for magic.
It's used
Oh,
for
shh.
magic.
Okay, it's like talking to a genie. We have to word it very carefully.
Aye.
Yes.
It's a spell book. We know that it belongs to a wizard named Bogentle. If we can figure out who or where Bogentle might be, we can figure out maybe some more information about the book.
Okay.
But the question is,
Who
I
is
don't know
Bogentle?
who Bogentle is. I don't know if he's alive or dead, or if he's
Well-
moved off to who knows where.
I think our best question to ask would be to get her to decipher this book for us. That'll give us all the information we need, because this isn't just a regular spell book. This is scribblings. This is research. I feel like that can get us a good point in our direction.
Aye,
Like a full
makes sense to
decipher
me.
of the book? Yeah. And then
All right,
as a
that's
backup,
That's what we'll ask
question
then.
about
Okay.
All in agreement? Say aye.
decipher it, and if not,
Wait, so what
Then
specifically
there's a-
how are we wording the question?
I got it. I'm in the house already, so I'll ask
Oh
her.
shit, alright. Alright,
And
it's done.
as you guys are kind of doing your huddle in front or in her doorway, she's kind of just sitting there or kind of hovering, and you see her kind of moving her hands about in the area, and there's it's almost like that cold breeze that you guys felt as you entered is moving along with her hands. So kind of just like shifting wind.
Mighty Agatha, might you please decipher this spell book here for us? I'll present it to her.
Well. I haven't seen this book for nearly a century. I traded this book to a man, a necromancer, named Cernoff. And for your spelling, it's T-S-E-R-N-O-T-H.
Alright, could you spell it again? I'm kind of slow.
T-S... Or T-S-E-R...
Write it in in-game chat.
I'm putting in our group notes.
Thank you, Kyle.
There you go. He hailed from a long forgotten city. And I'll type that in this chat as well in just a moment. Do not know what became of this necromancer after we... He did pay a hefty... Is this all you wish from me?
Well, we only have one gift, so it's only fair to ask one question of you.
So respectful. I thank you, sir.
We're sorry for troubling you.
And as you say this, the smile once again, like open, or she smiles again wide, and then her demeanor changes just slightly to back to a very toothy frown, And she looks at the rest of you and, wow, I appreciate the company. Today. And she slowly starts to fade.
Same
Vanish.
Thaddeus, get out of there.
And
Casually walk out and close the door on the way out.
okay.
What a lovely abode.
Mm.
Lovely lady, she says loudly.
That was an interesting experience.
Is that a ghost? That
I
looked like
have
a
more
ghost.
questions. But we should go.
We got more from that than we bargained for.
Much like many days in this strange land, I have more questions than I have answers. End of the day.
Yes, and we should talk about them on our way back.
Yes, let's get out of here. I agree. Stuff.
And just so you guys have it,
Right.
Warmer, nicer
The
place.
city.
My family has a bad history with dark magic. I don't like this place.
Oh,
She's a ghost.
Huh.
Doesn't mean dark magic.
A lovely ghost, too, might I add.
She was lovely. The place felt a little
Creepy.
dreadful.
Has a somber niceness to it. It's like a gothic beauty.
So, I can't help but be a bit disappointed.
For what? We got the name of a necromancer
Aye,
and a name of
another
a...
name to add to the
town.
pile.
Yes, I was about to say more questions.
Sir Noth Bogentle.
Ah,
Wait,
Where
the
does
name
it
of a lo-
end? Larno.
we also got the name of a location though.
An old
Yeah?
city that I'm not quite familiar with myself.
Me either, but maybe
Nothing
if
as
you look
pressing
out.
as where the location of Cragmaw Castle is.
I'm not familiar with any of these places, so
Maybe Erebor
all
and
new.
Cragmore Castle could be one and the same.
it could be.
Perhaps.
Names could have changed over time. Yeah, they said it was 100 years, right?
Well, it was 100
That's what
years
she
since
said.
she made the deal. But if this Xernoth was a necromancer, he could have either A, lived a very, very long time. Two, we don't know how old he was. So the city, if it was
Could have-
still existing, could have already been abandoned or forgotten by the time he was, I don't know, old. Like,
Why don't
wizards.
And
we
then it could have
rack
just
our
assumed
brains?
another name.
Let's rack our
Yes.
brains
We have
together
fun.
and see if we can come up
We
with
have
anything.
fun.
But Erebor.
Hmm.
Erebor?
I feel like I read a book once where a bunch of
Erebor.
dwarves and a hobbit went to go. It's a mountain. I'm kidding.
well, those of you trying to rack your brain for this information, you can make me a history check.
Oh, I'm gonna try.
It is as if fate had it.
No, it was so close.
I am not to know of Erebor.
Almost. Alright.
So, Verdane, with your travels as or in the militia and the military, you've been through a lot of areas and learned that, just as the passage of time, people sometimes forget old names of areas, rename them, all that kind of good stuff. And you vaguely remember that a ruin of a city, or a fledgling city, what was just larger than a village and becoming a city, that used to be the capital here in the Sword Coast. What now is the capital of Neverwinter just along the river, off of the coast, lies a ruin.
Oh, we heard about this. It's
What is now called Thunder Tree.
Thunder Tree, yeah.
Would it be possible for you to point to this on a map?
Yes. And you've had to kind of, on a small expedition job that you've taken, you had to travel through Thunder Tree.
Mm.
And that'll place it there.
Okay.
Would this actually be marked on my map, or?
It was not marked on the map that you hold, but with Burdane's recollection, he is able to mark it. So it is now marked. And it's probably a place that you've ventured a few times, Lunk.
I was gonna ask, if it's not marked, would I have been there for like trading skins and dumb stuff?
It is another ruin.
I was gonna say it's not inhabited, is it?
There are random bits of bandits that used to. Lunk, at one point, you did see bandits that used to take up point there. However, now, with rumors of new inhabitants taking setting up home at Thunder Tree, a lot of the normal civilians, or even just your tribe specifically in the Neverwinter Wood typically stays away from this area because of the odd feeling and inhabitants of this area. But you would have been here for a very quick time passing through.
Is there any chance the last time you were through Thunder Tree, it was inhabited by goblins?
Depends on who you're asking.
Both Burdane and Lunk.
Not to my knowledge.
The last time both of you went through this area, or Burdane specifically, it was uninhabited. Lunk, going through there
I
were
guess technically
bandits.
I would have passed by it heading to Neverwinter to collect my job.
Yeah, and at this point, so I'll say in the best way, like in the years prior, venturing through this area, it was it had a small, like, bandit camp through there.
Yeah.
But traveling through recently to get to Neverwinter, it was oddly silent. You do remember vaguely hearing, like, the sounds of large, leathery wings kind of flapping in the distance, but you quickly made your way through and left that into the distance.
Yeah, and nothing I would have been used to.
Right.
Interesting.
And that's basically all the information that you guys could... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Would I have been able to at least convey that, like, that sound that I heard to the rest of the party in that level of detail, or was it too faint of a sound for me to actually discern what it was?
You heard what the sound was. The source of it would have been iffy.
So something bat-like flapping, basically, in Lunk terms.
Yes.
But big.
Very big.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Then I would convey that to the party in Lunk terms.
So how likely do we think that Thunder Tree is Cragmaw Castle? Because I'm not super convinced. It seems a bit far.
Since Lunk's not too keen on castles, would it look like your ideal depiction of a castle, DM?
No, this looked like it looked like a village much like Conyberry, but larger, that was on the cusp of becoming a sprawling city before something happened
Okay.
and its inhabitants moved to Neverwinter
Yeah.
and created this new city.
So
So-
definitely not a castle.
Well, as far as Lunk is concerned, it's just an old village. Old big village.
Well,
Make me a survival check, Lunk.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
hmm.
Oof. Gotta love it.
Okay. Lunk. With all this talk of castles and it's just now getting through your brain, you do remember that there is a castle situated in Neverwinter Wood. However, where is hard for you to remember. You don't know if it's to the north, you don't know where it could be.
I'm going to hold on to that piece of information to myself for now.
Okay.
And
Well,
then,
This trip
I've already
was a
told
bit
them
of a
about the
bust.
leathery wings. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got from that check. Nothing great, but...
Well, this trip was pretty much a bust for the most part. I suppose we don't really have any other leads other than to return to Phandelver, go after those bandits.
I suppose. While we're there, we can also pick up a reward.
Well, this was disappointing.
I think we got plenty of information out of this.
Plenty of action,
Plenty.
too.
Plenty questions, you mean?
Questions are fun.
We know where
Because they-
Cragmaw hideout is. It's probably safe to say that Cragmaw Castle can't be too far from it because they share the same name. That's usually how you name things.
Well, it would take quite a while to comb the woods. But it's an
adventuring.
option. It's an option. If you just want to wander around, beating our branches against the bushes.
But surely anybody would build a castle out there in the woods.
Well, if it were anywhere else, we'd be able to see it from a great distance, wouldn't we?
It depends on the structural integrity of the castle. Could
We
be
still don't
ruins,
know
no
what
point.
castle means.
Or
it's a
if castle
goblin-built-
is underground.
If it's a goblin-built
Oh.
structure, we don't know if they're happening in old castle, or if it's literally a castle built by goblins, because then the bar is very, very low.
Mm.
So we could be looking
Sure.
for anything, really.
The possibilities are endless. Nevertheless, I do agree that we should return to Phandelver. Alert Sister Grail.
Yes,
Graila?
Sister Grill.
Grail. That we've succeeded in her task and met Agatha. And then perhaps we can help. We can help Sildar with those bandits. What's their name again? Something
I can't
Sam-
remember.
Red Brand.
The
Red
Red
Brand.
I just remembered Red.
Red
I was
Brand.
going to say
Red
Red
Brand,
Right Hand
clear.
because I've been watching Peaky Blinders lately.
Guys,
Specifically Red
it's-
Brand Ruffians.
I have been putting stuff in the group notes, so if you ever need to look up something, or if you want to contribute, the group notes are there.
Thank you.
Which,
I'm just
if you guys
worried
haven't
about-
seen it, Peaky Blinders actually pretty entertaining. Just random plug. Pretty cool show.
Well, let's
My
get
brother
back
got me
to
into it, so
Conyberry and get to our carriage.
Oh, I'm assuming that you guys have been moving through at this
yeah.
point.
While
So
we're
by
doing our conversations,
so by this point you guys have already kind of gotten back on the cart and made your way on to the outskirts of Conyberry.
what time of day is it when we make it back to Conyberry?
it was nothing more than a short, like, hour jaunt from
Okay.
Conyberry to Agatha's hut. So given you guys leaving pretty early in the morning, you've got a few hours before midday. And getting
Dope. back
and leaving you from your travel here with the snow beginning to let up and it's still being a soft powder, you could, if you hustled, you could probably make it before the end of the night. But you would have to kind of be pushing your horses. If you traveled at a slower speed, it may take a day and a half.
No issue. Pushing the horses a little bit.
Okay.
We move faster, get work done quicker.
Well,
Hey, let's be off.
so at the midday point, all of you are moving down the Tribord Trail. And just as you get about, for the sake of the map, here on the bend, or just before the bend,
We all die.
He's gonna call for
A dragon swoops in.
I'm gonna steer the cart so that we do a fucking just a rolling
do a cool
death
flip.
spiral.
Okay.
Do a sick J flip with the horse cart.
I do will there to be an explosion.
Nice J turn.
So-
Just jackknife the cart for no reason.
all of you with
Horsepower.
all of you with your passive perception, and with the horses having a little bit higher passive perception, and Burdain kind of leading them already at a hustle, you get the feeling that about this midday point, the horses are starting to pick up speed, even though you haven't pushed them to do so. And you can see both of them are kind of looking looking around wildly as if they are uneasy.
Oh,
They're
fuck.
And
Can I make an
Burdain,
active
who's
perception? Sorry.
go for it if you want to make an active perception, but with your or each of your passive perceptions, you guys are making your way through, and you hear. Yep. So your passive perception is still better. You hear this like almost as if willing it into existence. Lunk previously speaking about large leathery wings. You see probably about 5 or 6 miles above you. Specifically Burdain, who's on the front. Looking up, you see a large white reptilian figure. And this thing is probably sitting around, rough guesstimate, about 30 feet in length. And it is flying.
So Lunk wrestles it while you guys run.
Hold on. Storm is gonna ask Burdain to pull over. Does he do it?
Fuck that.
Wait, please, I'm going to cast fog cloud to hide us.
You don't have to stop moving for that to happen.
Yeah, but it won't move with us, will it?
What does the spell say?
You create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners and its areas heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until a wind or moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it.
Okay, so
Center it just on top of the cart, and it moves with the cart.
It doesn't say it moves with it. Like, I can put it on one point and then it stays there.
Yeah, if it's centered on top of the cart and the cart is moving, it's going to move with the top of the
No,
cart.
that's not how that works.
So
I would take it.
There are spells that would function that way. This one specifically, probably wouldn't. However, Storm, as you're thinking about doing this, the wind is blowing a little bit faster than what, it's moving a little bit greater than 10 miles an hour. You feel like if you place this down, it's not really going to be of any any use.
Oh fuck! It's like windy then. Son of a bitch.
Yes, it is pretty windy. and the creature flying above you,
Shit.
probably like just for the ping, it is leaving the Neverwinter Wood and flying basically just behind you guys and heads.
Does it look like it's actually heading? I guess it's been enough time. Does it look like it's heading towards us, or is it like is its flight path just heading over us?
It is
past
its
us?
flight path is heading over you.
Okay.
It is heading from
That
the
is
wood
less scary.
into the mountains.
Is there anywhere for us to pull over where we'd be obscured from its vision?
Not at this point of the trail.
Fuck.
Would we be able to at least see kind of where it was coming from in the wood? Or I didn't see it actually at first, so I just saw it in the air.
Now
Look,
that you
guys,
got
dragons work like bees. If you don't mess with them, they don't mess with you.
Well, then I just suppose we hoof it. I'm
So,
not ready to fuck with a
to-
dragon.
Phandelver?
Quite so sure it's doing that with us either. If it's flying over us, right?
mm-hmm.
Past us.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough to spook the horse.
Close enough to spook the horses, but it doesn't look like it's making a attempt of engagement.
All right. Storm just keeps her eyes on it, I guess.
And it flies over and quickly disappears into the fog that sits above the Sword Mountains. And with the light that you have, you can the vantage point that you have, you do see a large spire rising up out of almost the center of these mountaintops, and that is kind of jetting above the clouds. And it glistens in the sunlight almost as if it's made of ice.
Oh,
And it seems to be heading in that direction.
an ice dragon.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Not bothering us. We're good.
And so, with the horses hoofing it, and at this point, you guys probably would have made it to about there. It's a little after midday at this point, maybe 2 to 3 hours. Continuing at the speed, you guys would make it to Phandelver by nightfall. But if you decided to slow down, it would take a little bit longer.
Let's just go all the way.
All
Knowing
right.
that there's something out there flying around us, I don't think Verdane would want to stop the cart for the night.
We'll make it there right before nightfall, so let's get back to Phandelver. I agree. Let us go all the way.
So, by the time you guys get to Phandelver, you can see that one of the horses is a little larger in stature. He made the journey pretty easily. However, the other one has a slight, heaviness to its breath. You know, it's a little exhausted, for lack of better words.
Storm gives it a little bit of food. Gives them both a little bit of food and a good horsey pats.
It doesn't take the food, but after you release it from its carriage in Phandelver, it does saunter its way over to the stables, where it takes you notice it takes a quick drink and just rests. Now let's move us back to the Phandelver map. Yeah. You guys are coming in from the northern part, or passing Barthen's provisions at this point.
Should we wait until the morning to bother Sister Gorel?
Probably. I'm not quite sure she'd be out.
Well,
This time
we could
of
take
night.
The Shrine of Luck is right next to the inn. We can just take a look, see
Let's take a
see if
peek.
there are any lights on.
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay. So walking through town, most of the shops are, going through the process of closing, not quite closed yet. And you do see Sister Gorell kind of just sitting by one of the larger braziers in the kind of fashioned in the shrine, and she's bundled up kind of heavily and just um, seemingly just sipping on a steaming cup of liquid.
Sister Gorell,
Oi,
hello.
she was a
Hi.
ghost.
Why wouldn't you mention something like that?
I'm not being
Um,
progressive, just exclamatory.
I didn't see anyone while I was there.
Oh,
Nidus, well, it seemed abandoned. Nidus walked in, and she just like appeared, and she was all ghosty and hovering.
Um,
It was very creepy.
that's not really what I was expecting, but okay. Well, I take it you had a
Yes, we gave
conversation
her.
with her?
We gave less of a conversation, more of a. We gave her the comb. She let us ask one question in return. She would give us an answer. We were trying to be very polite. It seemed like she might kill us if we bothered her too much.
Huh. Wise choice, it seemed.
I'm gonna take a seat next to the sister. It truly is better we went instead of you.
And she's gonna kind of relax a little bit, and I am thankful you guys took this up. I don't know if I could have handled it another trip. But anyway, what did you find out?
Well, she told us that she traded the book to a necromancer named Xernoth. He apparently he hailed from the long forgotten city of Erebor, which Bodane, he recalls, is another name for Thunder Tree.
Hi, it is. It's what it used to be called.
Yes, and she doesn't know what happened at Xernoth after she made the deal with him, but she mentioned he did pay a hefty price, though she did not say what that price was. And that's literally all she told us.
Orin, did you mention the name?
Erebor?
No, of the necromancer.
Xernoth, yes, I did say
good,
that.
Good.
Does that sound familiar to you? Is he somebody who's known in this area, in history?
I do
You
not.
mentioned-
But I do have some contacts that I could reach out to, and this is more information than I had before, but this could possibly help. Yeah, thank you.
Help with what? Help with what? I'm not actually sure what the purpose of the journey was.
Well, my employers had, like I said, given me a task of doing this bout of research, and I wasn't able to figure anything out, but we've... all I can really tell you is we're searching for this person. Or at least...
Xernoth, what do you want with a necromancer?
Well, do you know anything about the Harpers?
Do I?
Did not.
Well, we're a scattered network of adventurers, spies, and some clergy. And we advocate for, to loosely put it, most equality among us, among civilians, and we try to covertly oppose the abuse of power. And it seems that this person has been at least causing problems, or someone that has been attached to this spell book. We had someone causing some issues, and this is one of the items we recovered from that person after he was taken care of. And we're trying to...
Xenoth is dead, and you took the spellbook from him?
We have no idea if he is. Because that was not the name of the owner that we received it from. We received it from someone named Bo Gentle.
Right, you mentioned that. Do you know what Bo Gentle was doing with the book, or is that another question you're searching for answers for?
He was dabbling in necromancy.
Ugh, wonderful.
In
Why do people seem to think that's always a good idea?
Well, I mean, power is a very appealing thing, and there is a... She's gonna give you a coy smile, and those who dabble in the arcane arts always try to push the envelope and acquire more power, and sometimes they don't understand what they've dabbled with.
Storm frowns, and she looks a little unsettled. She kind of quiets back and takes a step back.
What's Bo Gentle dabbling in now?
Dirt.
Alright. I figured as much, given the description of your organization.
Well, I guess that gives us another answer then. Bo Gentle isn't our friendly neighborhood necromancer.
Aye, it does seem that way. And yes, my very pale friend, we try to be, the best of people. We...
You had made it equality.
So we do our best, especially when it comes to those who have been slighted by those in power. Now, I did reach out because you brought some questions to me as we accepted as you accepted. Oh, that reminds me. And she brings out these 3 red potions on a little lanyard, and here, take these as a thank you. And they're 3 potions of healing. And you guys also, let's see, what was the math? Divided by 6.
Berdane's good without a potion, so someone else can...
I would say that
Well, it's one
since
of us.
Nidus, Storm, and Val all have access to healing spells, perhaps the 3 non-magic wielders might benefit more from
I-
potions.
Would gladly take some healing.
Worst case scenario, if you don't want to use it, you could always hand it off to somebody else when they do get hurt, but
Yeah, and
it might be nice to have on hand.
so rules, and I just want to say this, rules is written, drinking a potion is an action on your turn. The way I run it is if you yourself are drinking a potion, it's a bonus action. But if you're trying to give it to somebody else, that's still an action.
It is the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that
that's...
way, if say like I can't reach you, because most of our healing spells are touch. Like if I can't reach you, you have the potion on you.
Now, each of you get 34 points of experience for completing this quest. It's the best way to round out 206.
I don't know.
So, 34 points of XP. And she, after handing them off, and you guys each get them, or get your potion of healing, I do recall a compatriot of mine. Oh, the name is on the tip of my tongue. What was her name? Excuse me, I don't know why I'm... Got a tickle in my throat. Yes. Quilleen. She is one of the farmers, or one of the wife of, the wife of the Outerleaf family, and they're just on the outskirts of town. Small halfling woman, very outgoing attitude. I was asking around, and along with something she found interesting that a son spoke of, she also remembered of a elf named Redoth. Radoth, whatever. Redoth, I think. She spends most of her time in those ruins that you spoke of in Thundertree. However, so she may know the location of this castle that you speak of. She knows a lot of the area. At least this is what Quilleen had told me. So you may want to speak with Quilleen a little bit, as well as to figure out any additional things that you could, but for at least now, I think we have somebody that may know what you're looking for.
That's fantastic. Finally, a concrete lead.
Hi, for the work that you guys have, or that you lot have put into small recovering town. We tried to do our best. And I do believe Sildar was looking for you as well. He's
Okay.
made his home in the town's hall, or town master's hall.
Oh. Does that mean that something's happened to, what was the fucker's name?
Daron.
Harbin Westers.
Oh, Harbin Westers.
Or
Yeah,
Wester, sorry.
Town master.
I guess the polite way to say is he was disposed of,
Oh,
but deposed.
deposed.
Well,
Well, I guess we have
That
a
must
man to
been
talk to.
next. Right. Thank you very much, Sister Gorell. Both for the potions and for your assistance.
it's well, truthfully, I appreciate you. We couldn't have gotten this information without you, and I do hope that information is able to point you in the right direction.
I suppose you're gonna want this this wizard's book back.
Please.
Of course. I'll
And
take it
so,
out.
you guys ended up giving me, Vladius, and Burdane the each a health potion, or how did that work out?
That's what I would suggest.
Sure, take
Okay,
him.
just
Unusual.
so I can go ahead and add it to my.
If anybody's
backpack.
opposed, feel free to say something. Just makes sense.
You three are gonna be in the range of getting hit, so you guys can hold on to him.
Well, well, we've got a little bit longer in the session we could handle, or if we want, we can end it there.
Well, as the others leave, Storm was actually going to linger to talk to Sister Gorell.
Okay. Well, what does the rest of the party do?
Well, on my way up and out, I'm gonna tell her to keep her eyes out for necromancers.
Is it obvious that Storm is gonna stay behind?
It's a little obvious as you guys are packing up to leave. Yeah.
I was also gonna stay behind with the sister.
Well, if
Okay.
the two of you finish up your conversation here, you might want to join, at least myself, in the town hall. I'm talking to Sildar.
That can't wait till morning.
He was looking for us. I'd like to get this business out of the way first.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
But take your time.
Yeah,
Sildar's no stranger to late nights, I assure you.
have a lovely chat with the lovely sister here. I'll go with them to go check out Sildar.
Okay.
Storm gives Lunk a strange look, kind of like, what are you doing here?
I remembered a castle out in the woods. I was going to ask the sister if she knows where it is.
Oh,
Well,
Ugh.
unfortunately, my large friend, I do not. But that druid I spoke of, possibly. I can't guarantee. Quelline, Outerleaf would know more about this druid than I would. I just have
Noted.
a little bit of information that I was able to glean from her, asking around.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that's honestly all Lunk was going to stay behind for. I guess with that, it was just me and Storm that hung back.
Mhm.
Then, I guess, yeah, I would just
I
make
wanna
my way to
stand
the rest of the party. Doesn't seem like Storm needs any assistance.
As Lunk leaves, Storm's gonna kind of look around and then lean into the sister and go, Do you know something about me?
In what regard?
I don't know. It was something you said earlier.
I've
Like
said
you were implying something
said a lot of
about
things.
about me, personally, my family.
Do remind me, I did get hit on the head a little bit while I was traveling back, and I may have been speaking out of turn.
Storm rolls her eyes. Never mind. She's gonna turn and kind of walk away.
Well, if you remember and you feel you want to ask, have a good night.
Are you playing games with me, woman?
Are you playing games with me?
You, you were talking about making deals and getting more than you bargained for. And you gave me a look. What did that mean?
Well, I guess the best way to say it is you're pretty easy to read. And it seems like you have, that sort of thing has happened to you before.
Well, not to me. Does it look like I've dabbled in dark magic?
No. Not dark magic, no. Just biting off more than you could chew.
Storm just, like, frowns and looks more confused than ever.
I'm a perceptive
just-
woman. I can see things.
She
I have
just
two
shakes her
eyes.
head and walks away.
Well, good night.
Storm just throws up a hand as she goes by, or she leaves. Doesn't
Charm
say
got
anything.
called the
Do-
fuck out.
Do tell your elvish friend there to have a wonderful evening. She leaves.
Bow chicka bow wow.
What'd you say, Eric? I didn't hear anything.
I held my tongue.
What were you gonna say?
It'll wait till later.
There's always one. There's always one.
There's always.
Well, so that brings us to the rest of to the remainder of the party. Lunk, you're a few minutes behind, so we'll go ahead and get the conversation started, and then you'll enter afterward. So
Dope.
you enter. You go down the street to the Townmaster's Hall, and let's see. Pull this up. Okay, so the Townmaster's Hall is has sturdy stone walls. It's a pitched wooden roof, and there's a bell tower in the front that you guys pass by as you approach. And posted on the board next to the front door as you guys walk in, it is written in common, and it reads, "Reward: Orcs near Wyvern Tor. Those of a mind to face the orc menace should inquire within." The notice bears the town seal and a indecipherable signature. And walking in, you notice that there are a few people in the front of the room, and situated in one of the larger desks in the back is Sildar. And as you look up at him, he gestures with a short nod and just looks back down at his papers, while calling, Yes, finally. Welcome back. I had no idea you guys left town."
We were out and about, doing a little bit of this and that, hunting down leads.
Leads for Rockseeker, right?
That's right.
Well, I do greatly appreciate you taking care of this. Unfortunately, my efforts are a little bit strapped thin here in town with these ruffians, as they call themselves.
We figured as
How's
much.
that coming along?
Well, it's a good thing you asked Nidus, because it's about to get a whole lot better. I'm gonna volunteer us to get involved.
Well, a volunteer.
It's the least we could do for Phandelver's new town master.
He's gonna smile and, well, that was an easy bit of work that had to be done. And I'm happy to say that at least there's someone that cares in town. Now, at least. And I just realized I'm fucking up his accent. Anyway, we'll continue as if.
Ish posh.
Well, you said you were out and about. Any new leads? Or just trying to...
Unfortunately not. Well, maybe. Maybe. There's a... You might be familiar with the place as well. But there appears to be a person that spends some time at Thunder Tree. Yeah? Familiar? Ring a bell? Yes or no?
Thunder Tree rings a bell, but not any person. I don't understand why anybody would go there. Last I heard, it's been overrun by some weird magics and large beast.
It's beyond me. But, regardless, we've gotten a tip that there may or may not be an elf that knows the location of Cragmaw Castle, and therefore the location of Gungeon Rockseeker. But I think before we can take advantage of our new lead and go chasing after this loose end, we'll have to let our horses, your horses, recover for a bit.
Well,
Which is why I volunteered our services so graciously.
well, on the topic of Rockseeker, I would like to extend that I did get a notice from the Lord's Alliance that I am at liberty to offer you as a party 500 gold. If you are able to recover him.
Woohoo! We were
Of
gonna do it
course.
anyways, but to get paid
Aye.
for it.
And so this is the point where Lunk is able to walk in. And so
Brave Storm.
and Storm is still a few minutes behind. But with no great leads to go off of, and offering yourself for some police work, for lack of a better term, I have had the time since you've been gone to question some of the locals around here, and you might. He gonna flips through some of the notes that he has on his desk, and there's a rumor that Miss Alderleaf, the son, may have found something pretty interesting that might help in the situation, because some of the and it coincides with this information that Arno Albrecht, the one that I'm here searching for, he apparently spent some time in town before disappearing, and the last known location that he had been seen was entering Tresenda Manor, just out the edge of town, at the top. And he kind of gestures to the east, up a slight hill that you guys saw, leading just outside of town. And about 2 months ago, that was the last anybody saw him walking up the path to the manor. If
For
you
clarification for my notes, you're talking about Albrecht, like the former town master. He disappeared 2 months ago,
no,
or or Outerleaf's son.
All right, so
Larno Albrecht, the wizard
yeah,
that the Alliance is looking for.
yeah. So the Sildar has his own mission. He is looking for this wizard, Larno Albrecht, and this is the information that he's been given, is that about 2.5 months ago he showed up in Phandelver, and then about 2 months ago just randomly disappeared. And the last known location he was seen was heading up towards Tresendar Manor. And Alderleaf's son happened into a bit of information about the manor. What it is, he's not really clear, because the boy's relatively shy. He doesn't like speaking to many people except for his friend. And his friend Puck was... Oh, not Puck, sorry. What is his name? Let's see. Where was it? Sorry. Pip. Pip's is Master Toblin's young son up at the inn. His friend Cop Alderleaf had apparently discovered something relatively interesting about the manor, and he told his friend and his mother, and when I went to go question, this is the only bit of information I could get because the boy is rather shy. So, you may want to go talk to him or Pip, one or the other, to see what more information you can glean, because unfortunately all I know is Mr. Albrecht disappeared into this area, and then apparently last month, as the ruffians begin to gather in size, they have been taking property in the area. The Sleeping Giant used to be an inn here, and it fell under their control, as well as the Tresendar Manor, who used to be one of the town masters in Phandelver before renovations popped up, and or started resuming, and that's when Harvin Wester stepped in and basically did nothing.
All right.
I guess we have some leads to check up on.
Quite a few. Ooh, before I forget, the poster on the door.
Aye.
Mind explaining quickly what that's about?
Well, there's a small location, often just in the southern or the eastern edges of the Sold Mountains, known as Wyvern Toll. It was a let me go back to it so I can better description. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. It is a prominent landmark in the rugged hills to the northeast. It's once you get in the vicinity of Conyberry, you could kind of see it if you're looking for it. And it was.
Spire?
Hmm?
Is it a big spire, perhaps?
No, it's it was formerly known to be a active home of some large and dangerous wyverns, but a band of bold adventurers dealt with these monsters many years ago. The wyverns never returned. However, other creatures have begun creating their lair there from time to time, and currently, my scouts have listed a band of orcs that have been roaming the areas and seemingly have made camp in this area. They've made rough. They haven't made many attempts, other than what's necessary on travelers through the area. However, that is the group that seemed to be driving some of the goblins that attacked our sister Garael. And luckily she was able to run, and the goblins don't take commands very well, so she was able to survive, thankfully. However, there's new traffic coming through from the Desarian Valley to Phandelver, and this is just something that I wish to be taken care of, so those coming through don't have any further issues.
We'll keep it in mind.
Alright, you're the only band of adventurers I know in the area, so if you're interested, we can definitely take, have you guys taken, you guys are welcome to take it, or take the quest. That one I would offer, he kind of looks at his pamphlet, or his notes on his table. We could offer probably 50 gold pieces per person for this quest.
Is Storm there yet?
Yeah. As he's telling him about the money, you arrive.
So what did I miss? We're making more money then?
Not quite. We'll be spending a bit more time in town so that we can follow up on some leads. I suggest in the morning we go talk to Miss Outerleaf, her son, or Toplin's son at the Stonehill Inn. And then if we can get enough information, maybe, perhaps, we can pay ourselves a visit, Tressender Manor.
Sounds
Hopefully
like an
find some
adventure.
ghosts there.
Maybe kill several birds with a couple of stones.
Well, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
Believe you me, I'm aware.
50 gold coin sounds good to me.
But,
And some archery, some practice of archery.
no,
some
remember,
shots at some-
helping the town is
Yeah, you really do need the practice.
Isn't that right,
Maybe.
Sildar?
That's
Ah,
part of the reason I'm here, is making up for other people's incompetence.
Storm. Maybe I didn't want to shoot you.
If that's what makes you feel better.
That's what makes you sleep better.
Well, also, he's gonna scribble a quick note on a sheet of paper and hand it over to Verdane. Give this to Buffin. This will secure you 2 nights at the inn, free of charge. Food is not included. I don't have the power of that. Food and ale is not, but your boarding will be taken care of.
wait, present this to Bartham.
Yes. Or not
Bartham's
Barthen.
wishes.
Sorry, Tolbin. Or Toblin. Sorry, my mistake.
Much appreciated.
Aye. It's it's the least I could do.
Food not included.
Okay.
Speaking of sleep, we should all catch up on that in game and real life.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
Good.
with the
I'm
party
not using it right now.
leaving the town master's hall at the close of the evening and making their way back to Stonehill Inn, provisions are taken care of for the evening. You acquire some food. So, just for the sake of brevity, go ahead and mark off. Let's see. 2, or if you intend to drink, go ahead and mark off. At least one of you mark off 2 silver pieces for the gallon of ale that you were provided with, because it's easier just to give you a whole big or a keg and you guys get out of it yourself. And then 3 silver pieces each for a modest meal. You can also use some of that owlbear meat to knock off a silver piece if you wish. And he'll gladly cook up the rest of it. And even offer to turn it into some jerky.
Dope.
I'll eat the cost for the ale.
Okay?
I'm starting to like you more and more, BB.
Hmm.
I will definitely allow him to make some jerky.
Cool. He just for the, like I said, for the sake of brevity, he's gonna offer if you would like him to sell any of it, or do you want it all back?
I mean, we pretty much have out of character. We all pretty much have provisions, don't we? Now that
Yeah.
I think about it.
But
There's
this
no real need for me to hold on to it. That was just
Or
a kind
eating
of time
freedom.
stake thing in the moment. Yeah, I'd just let him sell it then.
Okay.
Perhaps
we
we can get them salted and dried.
Well, yeah, I gave him some to like make into jerky for us, and then he was pretty much asking if he could just sell the rest. So
Oh yeah.
why not?
Well, then he
We
for
give
the
some
amount of
cost
meat
on.
that you give him, Lunk, he gives you 2 gold pieces.
Okay.
And then also he promises for the amount of meat there is, he will give you for the ability to resell it, he will give you each 2 rations that consist of this jerky. So you can add 2 more rations to your ration,
Oh, fantastic.
allotted rations.
Wow.
And then Lunk, you get 2 gold.
Nice.
Well, that was a fun session. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We got some
Lots of combat. I was hoping
that
for a
was.
level up, but we only fought
Oh,
one
God,
owlbear
we
instead of a
just
whole
leveled
fucking
up.
pack. Well, yeah, I was expecting like a whole pack of owlbears, considering he misdirected us.
Lunkenberding could take a whole pack,
I mean,
believe it.
Surely.
yeah.
and we could fight him.
For
I mean,
sure.
we have collectively we have one shot a fucking big ass bugbear, and now we have fucking. It took us 2 attacks, but now we 2-tapped a fucking owlbear. I mean, what's next? We're gonna 3-tap each a fucking dragon. Let's go.
Or get one-shotted by a dragon by yourself.
Hey,
Hey,
whoa.
listen, Storm put 3 points on that owlbear.
Well,
You don't TPK us. That's not nice. I'll cry.
are you trying to get me to TPK you?
Are you trying to get me to TPK you? Wow.
I'm kidding. I love you. Well, and that is where we'll end the session, so we can start back on the 21st of Hammer, bright and early for the next day. And we'll assume that you guys get your long rest and some sleep for the evening.
Should we do that now or wait until tomorrow? Well, we're all pretty much rested anyway. So
Yeah, you're pretty much rested, so you can just mark your long rest and get your spells back and all that kind of good stuff, so that way we're ready for the next session.
I didn't use anything, but I was asking for everyone else's sake.
Yeah. But I appreciate all of you coming out for another fun evening of Lost Mines of Phandelver. This has been a fun game, and I can't wait till next week to see how some of these how the story continues to unfold for you guys.
Yeah.
We didn't die yet, Chet. Here's hoping.
Fingers crossed.
You're gonna have to disconnect
Excited.
Brave again. I think she fell asleep a while ago.
Yep, she did. So that is noted.
She gave me her phone number to call her, but I figured we were just doing. I don't know. It wasn't really important. I didn't want to wake her up.
It wasn't necessary for her to really be there.
It's always important.
Yeah, it's important to have all your players there.
Always important.
Okay, I should have called her then. I just by the time I realized, I was just like, we don't have that much longer to go.
But
Oh, we went later than I thought too.
yeah, we did. Well, everyone,
Well,
I'm gonna sign off. Everyone in chat, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.
Hi, chat.
Bye, Chet.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Can't see me wave, but you can hear me.
Okay.
Yes.
If you wave your hand hard enough, they can hear it too.
Ooh.
Yeah.